Chapter 438. Freedom. Sheng Xiao answered at once, before explaining. Huang Yao is a family business, and everyone in the Sheng family works there. I was young and inexperienced back then, far less mature than I am now, which is why I have many conflicts with my family. I don't like it when others control my life, and my family might believe that I have the responsibility and obligation to take care of Huang Yao. But I don't believe it, which is why I left the Sheng family half a year ago. Even now, I haven't had any contact with the Sheng family. I was the one who left, and today, I will rely on my own 2 feet to stand on this land again. Sheng Zhao's intention in answering the question was to emphasize that he had never returned to the Sheng family. Does that mean you won't return to Huang Yao? I've already established Zhongting. Why would I return to Huang Yao? What about the Sheng family? I'm sorry, that's a digression. The reporter quickly apologized. I haven't seen any of them over the last 6 months, aside from that day at the business gathering. I think we would all be familiar strangers from now on. The reporter nodded at that. Was Sheng Xiao drawing a clear line between himself and Huang Yao? Well, since I've digressed, I'll ask another question. Everyone I've met before told me that the Crown Prince of Huang Yao is not a person to be trifled with and carries with him danger. But I feel very comfortable with you sitting here today, and I don't feel any danger at all. What prompted you to change so much? Sheng Xiao thought about it, and eventually turned his eyes to the cameraman's back. Of course, he wasn't looking at the camera. Instead, he was looking at Mu Chi-Chi. I'm going to be a man of 30 soon. I believe that family and responsibility have made me who I am now. Actually, I've secretly noticed that Chief Sheng was looking at our cameraman when he answered the question. You probably don't know who's standing behind him. The reporter joked. I heard that Zhongting isn't just producing military supplies, but is also developing into weapons. Is that the direction of Zhongting's future? In the future, Zhongting will invest more money and manpower in the research and development department. In the future, Zhongting will be involved in more industries. I hope that everyone can continue to support us. I can tell that Zhongting is really ambitious. If that's the case, I shall risk universal condemnation and ask a question that no one else would dare to ask, because we know that your relationship with Miss Mu Chi-Chi is being watched by many. She was once known as the young bride of the Sheng family. I wonder if you have any plans or important decisions now. You insisted on coming for the interview. What else can I say? Sheng Zhao's words were full of disdain, but everyone present could tell that he was clearly showing off his affection. Moreover, he was the one who had asked the little thing to come over, okay? She also said that when the exclusive magazine comes out, she will buy 100 copies. Your magazine can make more money. Is that so? Thank you very much, Miss Mu Chi-Chi. The reporter promptly laughed. As for their relationship, the reporters did not ask too much. Although their relationship had always been open to the public, the details of their interactions still needed to be kept a mystery. And in today's interview, Sheng Xiao answered every question about the Shun family and the Sheng family, as well as other sensitive gossips. Especially when it came to the Sheng family's ugly attempt to get a share of the pie. Sheng Zhao's main purpose in accepting the interview was to tell everyone that he had left the Sheng family a long time ago and had no contact with them over the last 6 months. From now on, he did not want to have any further contact, and only hoped that the Sheng family would play their part as the most familiar strangers. There was no telling how the Sheng family would be slapped in the face after the interview. After the interview was over, the reporter shook Mu Chi-Chi's hand. Miss Mu, I really envy you for having President Sheng, who loves you so much. Still, don't you think you're losing out by having his name tattooed on your ear and not getting any reaction from him? Mu Chi-Chi turned to look at Sheng Xiao and pointed at her collarbone. He's tattooed here. I see. The reporter sighed. And you will find her Mr. Right. I don't have a Mr. Right, but I did have son. Let's just make do. The reporter laughed and left Zhongting with the people from the magazine. That was when Sheng Xiao put an arm around Mu Chi-Chi's waist and told her, Did you know that the way you looked at me just now was exactly the same as when you had a crush on me? You can't wait to devour me. Did I? Mu Chi-Chi asked, covering her face. Everyone saw it. Are you still denying it? Can't help it. Who asked you to be so handsome? Mu Chi retorted. Since I've watched your interview, I should go home and pack my things. I'm leaving later. Sheng Xiao hugged his little one tightly at that. Safety. I'll say it again. Nothing is more important than your safety. Got it. Even if he could not bear to let go, his little one would eventually grow up, and it was something he could not control. Sometimes he would miss the timid Mu Chi of old because the little one would listen to everything he said, but she did not have the soul she had now. Su Che had followed Sheng Xiao's orders and found out what Lin Mu and had asked him to do, and Sheng Xiao directly sent the information to Lin Mu, and so that the man would not disturb his little one. When Lin Mu and saw the girl's information, he immediately understood that she was indeed the actress that old Master Lin had hired. That was why she had been pestering him the moment she arrived at school, saying that she liked him and trying to disturb his mind. At that thought, Lin Mu and put away the information and prepared to welcome his little Pepper when school was over. Lu Qianqian was punctual. She brought Lin Mu and's favorite snacks to the police academy and waited quietly at the gates after registering. Lin Mu and saw Lu Qianqian's figure from afar and was naturally elated. Little Pepper. Lu Qianqian rose to her feet and glared at Lin Muin. Don't call me such a vulgar name outside. Both of them laughed at that, and Lin Mu and led Lu Qianqian to the academy's canteen. Try the food here. Hey, I'm a young lady of the Lu family. Are you going to let me eat plain food? I don't have the money to treat you to fancy food now. Chapter 439. In fact, Lin Muin knew very well that Lu Qianqian did not have the pampered air of a rich young lady, and he was just saying it casually. The two of them sat in the cafeteria, eating and chatting. At this time, Lin Mu and's roommates heard the commotion and came over. Is that little sister-in-law? Really? Is she that pretty? No wonder you miss her so much. Why didn't you introduce her when she's here? The others scrambled to sit beside them and cause trouble, but Lu Qianqian did not have the chance to explain before Lin Muin smiled and brushed it off. Sister-in-law, you should walk around the school more. Otherwise, people wouldn't know that our handsome Lin is already taken, and those rotten suitors would just keep coming for him. Isn't he behaving in school? Lu Qianqian simply played along with them and continued teasing Lin Muin. Actually, Bro Lin is one of the few honest people I've met. Apart from training every day, the only time he has is to make clay figurines. Those are for you, aren't they? Lu Qianqian was quiet for a few seconds before nodding. Look, what a loyal dog. Well, I hope you guys can keep an eye on him from now on. I'll treat you to the snacks here. When a few of them saw that it was all imported food, their gluttonous faces immediately appeared. Don't worry, little sister-in-law. Just leave it to us. Aren't you the one who bought it for me? Lin Mu and could not help grumbling. It was not easy for little Pepper to buy it for him, and these people were so poor and hungry. What a waste of good food. Bro Lin, sister-in-law, is building a good foundation. You wouldn't understand. Lin Mu and slapped the man's head at that. I'll give little Pepper some after lunch. You guys save some for me. Don't split all. The happiest time in life was indeed in the campus of one's youth. Now, that Lu Qianqian was training every day, it had been a long time since she could relax like this. Just as they were eating and chatting, the girl who was determined to get Lin Mu and squeezed in with a tray. Can I sit? Sure. But Bro Lin and sister-in-law should go to another table. It's noisy here. Her roommate helped Lin Muin out. Sister-in-law, you have to come more often. You're so pretty and feminine. We would want to see you often. Lu Qianqian smiled, but studied the girl as well. Lin Mu and's fearless personality would be a huge problem for him. Still, Lin Mu and could not be sure since he knew how to deal with women. The two of them moved to another table. Then Lu Qianqian asked, Is that the girl? Little, she made you so flustered that you're doubting life? I've already checked with the Crown Prince. There's an 80 to 90% chance that it was grandfather who planted them. Lin Mu and explained to Lu Qianqian, I don't want my simple and beautiful police academy life to be spent fighting against the old man. I hate that I'm a Lin now. My grandfather is an all-pervasive monster. Be yourself. You should know that I will never give up on my best friend. No matter what happens, I will share the burden with you. Lu Qianqian comforted him, because she knew that he was feeling very defeated at the moment. You're right. Be yourself. Don't be swayed by poverty, and don't be subdued by force, Lin Muin said. Idiot, if you need me, just give me a call. If not, you can skip me and look for the Crown Prince or Chi-Chi. You know how awesome the Crown Prince is now. Lin Muin pinched Lu Qianqian's nose and finally smiled. I know what to do. Since that's the case, I'll head back first. There's a gathering at the Lu clan tonight. Lin Muin nodded and got up from the dining table. He took out the broken clay doll from his pocket and said, I'll give it to you, even though it's not a complete corpse. Still, it was something precious to Lu Qianqian. All right, you don't have to see me off. My car is outside. Lin Muin waved at Lu Qianqian, who smiled and walked out of the police academy gates. But she did not expect that the girl was waiting for her at the gates. Miss Lu. Lu Qianqian turned and looked at the girl in confusion. I thought you and Lin Mu and had already severed ties. I never expected you two to still be in contact. Furthermore, you've been doing it so openly. Aren't you afraid that your past will be dug out and make Lin Muin lose face? At those words, Lu Qianqian closed the car door she had just opened and asked, Do you know why Lin Muin is still willing to be with me? Because you're easy to push. Isn't that all there is between a man and a woman? I'm relieved if that's what you think, because you can't snatch Lin Muin away from me. Lu Qianqian smiled. No matter what rich young lady you are or how impressive your family background is, I can at least be sure that an opponent like you would never have the ability to change Lin Muin. Aren't you afraid that Lin Muin's grandfather would hear that? Whether he would or not, he doesn't like me. So why should I pretend to be a hypocrite? As for you, don't you know that Lin Mu and has already thoroughly investigated your background? With those words, Lu Qianqian smiled mockingly and opened the car door again. Old Lin was certainly disgusting, but as long as Lin Mu Answell was strong enough, no one could change him. As for this girl, how good could she be when she used someone else's privacy to attack others? Still, she was the same as old Lin. Lu Qianqian believed that Lin Mu would not be tempted, or at least not by a girl like this. But she did not know that this was the girl's trick. At first, when she approached Lin Mu, she would show absolute dominance to make him hate her. Then, she would slowly change and awaken, making him think that she had really come to her senses. And there would definitely be many chances for her to interact with Lu Qianqian. With that, she would definitely find a chance to slander Lu Qianqian and drive a wedge between them. Men are easy to break. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. Just wait and see. At night, at the Sheng family's home. At the moment, the Sheng family was still unaware that Sheng Xiao had ended his interview with the magazine and officially drew a line with the Sheng family. It was just that old Sheng was clearly spending more time away from home than before, because there were more people asking him out. With a good grandson like Sheng Xiao again, the future of the Sheng family would only be brighter. Chapter 440. Late at night, it was raining in the mountains. Mu Chi-Chi and Feng Shanshan were staying in a simple room, since that was the only condition in the mountains. Feng Shanshan did not like the humidity, and so tugged at Mu Chi-Chi. Aren't you concerned about what old Sheng wants to do to you? I don't want to, because he won't succeed no matter what he wants to do. Mu Chi-Chi covered her head, wanting to rest well. She was already tired after a 4-hour journey to the mountains. However, before they could turn off the lights, they heard someone shouting, "Another body found. Forensics team, let's go take a look." It was the border between Jianchuan and another city, which was why they were working together. Mu Chi-Chi and Lin Sanjiu promptly got up from the bed. The police had already assembled outside the door and were holding black umbrellas as they headed towards the place where the body was found. It was in a cave in the mountains, and the corpse was still fresh. It must have died just before nightfall, since there were only a few livor mortis spots. The forensics team was about to move for a further autopsy, but the townsfolk came to stop them. Don't touch the corpse. It's too uncanny, or you'd provoke something evil. The professor had seen his fair share of closed-minded cases after years of handling cases, and so had the forensics team, and Mu Chi-Chi stepped back so that the police could appease the townsfolk. Sure enough, the people in the police force were all experienced. They coaxed and tricked the man from the town away. "Do you guys smell something special? It's very pungent." Mu Chi-Chi asked them, standing in front of the cave. The professor and the others promptly turned to the corpse, only to find that the body, which had been whole just a moment ago, was slowly turning into bones. Mu-Chi-Chi looked up to find that something was dripping from the mouth of the cave. The professor stopped them and said, "It's sulfuric acid. That's why these corpses are demonized. Sulfuric acid is man-made. Why would it drip down?" Everyone looked at each other. They could only examine the corpse and collect evidence for further study. "Looks like we won't be able to rest tonight." When Xing Xiao returned to his bedroom after taking care of business, he found that his little one was not home today. The spacious room was empty. Normally, he wouldn't feel that it was quiet, but because that little thing wasn't around, he was worried about her. What was the point of fighting? Wasn't it all because of his little one? There was no telling if his little one was safe in the heavy rain. The victim is a female between 20 and 22 years old, 162 centimeters tall, and 45 kilograms. Time of death is between 6 and 7 at night. There are no obvious contusions, no violation, no strangulation marks around her neck, no signs of drowning. Now we have to investigate natural or poisoning. The police are investigating the family's situation. No, it's weird to wear a red dress in the middle of the night. The police officer felt a chill run down his spine. Also, after being corroded by the sulfuric acid, half of his face has turned into bones. He does look like a ghost from the movies. Tonight, we'll be spending the night with this corpse. If she really turns into a malicious spirit, none of you will be able to escape. The professor did not listen to their nonsense. Instead, he looked at Mu-Chi-Chi and Feng Shanshan and asked, "What do you think? I think we can find out if there are any taboos or legends among the residents nearby. I think the culture might help us find some clues," Mu-Chi-Chi said. The fact that the victim had come out in a red dress in the middle of the night, and that man from the town had shouted not to touch the corpse, made Mu-Chi-Chi believe that it was all crucial information. "I don't know if you noticed on the way here, but there are very few women here." Feng Shanshan also raised her doubts. "Before we came, 2 of them died. Including the 3 now, they are all young women." The professor nodded. "All right, I got it. You 2 should get some rest. You still have work tomorrow." Mu-Chi-Chi and Feng Shanshan shared a look and returned to their own rooms. Even so, the corpse was in the yard, and it must be said that the mere thought of a red dress gave them goosebumps. Both of them lay back on the bed, but could not fall asleep no matter what. Mu-Chi-Chi rolled over and whipped out her phone. She wanted to send Sheng Xiao a message, but he should be asleep at this hour. But for some strange reason, Mu-Chi-Chi pressed the send button when she was about to delete the message. Still, there was only Sheng Xiao's name in the message. Mu-Chi-Chi sighed. She wanted to delete the message, but Sheng Xiao replied instantly. "What? Why aren't you sleeping, you filthy thing? I'm doing an autopsy here. Can you tell me why you're still awake at this hour? I'm not used to having my arms empty. It's too quiet when I can't hear you snoring. You're the one who snores." Mu-Chi-Chi retorted, unconvinced. "The corpse we found tonight was right next door, wearing a red dress. I'm a little scared." "Why aren't you scared when you're at home?" "Because you're not by my side," Mu-Chi-Chi answered seriously. "It's only when I'm out that I know the reason I feel safe and brave is because you're by my side. Silly thing, I'll get up to handle business and put on speakerphone. You won't be scared when you hear my voice." No, it's already so late. I'll feel bad if you stay up late." Mu-Chi-Chi quickly stopped him. However, Sheng Xiao had already called her. Mu-Chi-Chi took out her earphones from her bag and put them on. Then, she really heard his voice. "Do you know how much you can't leave me now? Are you going to leave me on your own again? I still have to if there's a murder. I won't care if you're scared in the future." Oomph. Who would believe that? That night, Mu-Chi-Chi did not know when she fell asleep. All she knew was that hearing Sheng Xiao's voice made her feel that he was by her side. That sense of security was such that she would not be afraid even if the sky fell down, and whatever monster or demon would not be able to get close to her. The next morning, Mu-Chi-Chi was woken up by a commotion. The girl's parents had rushed over after the rain stopped and demanded to take their daughter's body away, not allowing the forensic doctor to do an autopsy. However, the cause of death had yet to be determined, and the police could not rule out suicide or homicide. So, they argued with the girl's parents. The old couple was crying and throwing a tantrum, almost crashing into a rock on the road. The police could not do their job at all. Chapter 441. I'll try. Muchichi nodded and walked to the old couple. Then, she told the officers, don't force them. Of course they would feel sorry for their daughter. The professor was full of praise for Muchichi at that. That child is smart. She knows to put herself on the opposing side to lower their guard. The officers left and did not continue arguing with the old couple. Muchichi walked up and sat beside the old woman. Get up, Annie. Let's sit down and talk. The old couple cried their hearts out before they got up and sat down on the bench. Auntie, your daughter is so beautiful. She looks like you when you were young, doesn't she? The old woman could not hold back her tears at the mention of her daughter. What's the use of being beautiful? Young lady, please persuade those youngsters not to touch my daughter's body. We won't do an autopsy. Auntie, then, do you know how your daughter passed away? The old woman was at a loss and shook her head. She won't come back no matter how she died. Auntie, do you know? My sister fed her the wrong medicine and killed her. But everyone slandered me, saying that I killed her, and I was chased out of the house and almost died outside. That is why I studied forensics. A person should die with dignity and seek justice for her. If she died without a cause, she would not be happy in the afterlife. What would you do if she blames you when the time comes? The old woman's tears flowed even more at that. That is why I hope that you would allow us to perform an autopsy. That is the only way to find the culprit and seek justice for your daughter while preventing new murders. I know you want your daughter to die with dignity. We can promise you that after we investigate the cause of the incident, we will send her off so that she can be buried with dignity. That way, those who spread the rumors will have nothing to say. The old woman wiped her tears and finally nodded. I dreamed of her last night. She told me that she was in pain. Then, Auntie, could you tell me what was wrong with your daughter yesterday? The woman thought about it and answered, the child's father and I live in another town, and we only see the child a few times a month. After she dropped out of school, she started a small business here, which is why we don't know what happened to her. Does your daughter have a boyfriend? We don't know, but our daughter always comes home alone. Does she like to wear red clothes? The middle-aged woman shook her head. I don't like it. She's usually very plain and doesn't like to dress up. Auntie, you can rest here. We'll tell you the results after we're done with the examination. Okay? Muchichi spoke sincerely and softly, which was why the old couple felt that their daughter was still by their side and could not bear to refuse her. Muchichi gestured for the police to take over and walked to the professor's side. Professor, hurry up. The old couple's emotions are unstable. We can't rule out the possibility of them changing their minds. They immediately entered the temporary morgue and prepared to start the autopsy. However, at that moment, many people from the town arrived and interfered with the forensics team's work. You can't simply touch the woman's body. You'll provoke something evil and bring disaster to us. If you keep touching the woman, we'll surround this place and not let you out. None of you are leaving. The first wave had yet to subside when another one arose. Look at you. You're the daughter of a rich family and the CEO's woman. Why would you come to a place like this and look so miserable? Feng Shanshan laughed. Is human life that funny in your eyes? Why so serious? It's just a joke because the atmosphere is too tense. Muchichi said nothing, and the atmosphere outside was frozen. I'm afraid we'll have to ask for help, and it's not something that can be solved in 2 or 3 days. You two have classes tomorrow, so get ready to go back in the afternoon, the professor said to Muchichi and Feng Shanshan. However, with the current situation, it might be difficult for you to get out. It shouldn't be that difficult to send 2 people away, right? Professor, you really don't need us to stay. You're just an intern, here to observe. You won't be of much use if you stay. Moreover, it's more important for you to go back to class and abide by school rules. Another team of forensics is coming, and we have enough people. You two go, the professor said without hesitation. There must be some story between the people of this town and women. It's dangerous for you to stay. The professor said the word dangerous. Muchichi immediately understood the professor's intention. Let's pack up and leave soon. Xiao Qi, Call your CEO and ask him to send someone to pick you up. We'll be more at ease if there's an escort. Muchichi looked at the men outside and nodded. She would not be pretentious at a time like this. She would make the call if she had to. However, Sheng Xiao was in a meeting. When he saw the call from Muchichi, he quickly said, "Pause for 5 minutes. Xiao Xiao, I've run into some trouble here. Ask Su Che to send someone to pick us up." "What kind of trouble?" "The townsfolk have surrounded the yard where we forensics are. We can't get out now, so we might need some help." "Wait." After saying that, Sheng Xiao hung up the phone and returned to the conference room. "We won't be having a meeting today. We'll continue tomorrow." "What happened, CEO?" Su Che quickly came up to him. "Get 10 or so skilled people to come with me to pick up Chi. That little one said not to go to dangerous places. She's gone too far now." Sheng Xiao muttered, but he was more worried than he was complaining. No wonder he did not even have a meeting and wanted to kill his way there. On the other hand, Gu Xiling had gone to a gathering of her friends. She could not help feeling a little emotional when she saw that all her old acquaintances had children. Moreover, everyone knew that she was married, and she could only tell them that she was not planning to get pregnant yet. She wanted to give Sheng Kai more time, because many people only had children after a few years. However, she had a feeling that it was not as simple as not being fated to conceive after having so much fun every night. The doubts in her heart grew heavier. She wanted to find a chance to get Sheng Kai for a checkup, but she knew very well that if the matter was exposed, Sheng Kai's dignity as a man would be gone. Chapter 442. Muchichi and Feng Shanshan had already packed their things, while the police were still negotiating with the townspeople. There was no telling why they would have such a huge reaction to dissecting a corpse. They're just being incited. The culprit is the one who doesn't want us to dissect the corpse. Muchichi felt bad watching the people outside. The corpse could not be moved, and the true cause of death was unknown, delaying the police's search for the culprit. It was fine if they were not allowed to dissect the corpse, but the police were not allowed to move around. What were these people trying to do? We're going to have to waste some time with them at this rate. We'd be more at ease if you leave earlier. Actually, Professor, I have an idea, Muchichi said. Xiao Xiao and the others could come and help us create some chaos, and we could use the chance to transport the corpse back to Jianchuan and dissect it in the forensics lab. After all, the victim's family has already agreed. What do you think? The professor thought about it and nodded. Maybe that's a good idea. But would the car carry the corpse when he comes to pick you up? Actually, I told him that we're in trouble, which is why he brought around a dozen people, and all of them are quite skilled. Oh, the professor couldn't help chuckling. A man like that dotes on you. That's why we definitely can't fight them, but we could create some chaos. That's easy since we have an extra car, or we could call an ambulance. Us two women could pretend to be sick to divert attention. What a smart brain. But since the ambulance is coming, we can send the body directly to the hospital. That way, we won't waste time going to Jianchuan. I'll discuss with the police team and come up with a more detailed plan. Everyone can work together. It's better than wasting time here. Muchichi nodded and shared a look with Feng Shanshan. There was a strange atmosphere in the town, whether it was the deceased girls or the townspeople. Their actions were truly puzzling. Could there really be some traditional taboo? The professor went out for a while, and when he returned, he had already made detailed arrangements. We've already contacted the nearby hospital for backup. Their ambulance will be waiting for your CEO's car on the road. Little 7, your idea is very good. We don't have to fight to the death with them here. Finding the clues is the most important thing. Shanshan has already gone to prepare. Later, the body will be moved on a stretcher. She will dress up in a police uniform and leave with the ambulance. It was just that many people stuck to the rules when handling cases and never thought of being flexible. This little thing had a reliable brain. 3 anxious hours passed. Sheng Zhao's black car and his entourage numbered 5. Of course, there was also an ambulance at the end. The road was slippery in the rainy day. When a CEO like him rushed into the mountains, even the most distinguished person would be a little embarrassed. But this was Su Che's car, and his driving skills made Sheng Xiao look at him in praise. When the men in the town saw that there were outsiders entering the courtyard, They immediately gathered together with their weapons in their hands. However, when Su Che brought the group of bodyguards in black suits out of the car, the scene was quite spectacular. That group of people was a little scared. The police did not fight with the masses because of discipline, but the people in the public did not have to follow such rules. Sheng Xiao was walking at the front. When he saw the little one standing in the courtyard, he wanted to go straight to her, but was stopped by the men in the town. "What are you doing here?" Sheng Xiao said nothing, and simply glanced at Su Che behind him. Understanding Sheng Xiao's meaning, Su Che took a step forward, snatched the stick from the man's hand, and broke it in half with his bare hands. The man was stunned by Su Che's skill. He could not help taking 2 steps back. "If you dare, I'll sue you for violence. We're not the police, and we have money. We'll just have to pay some compensation if we cripple you. Which hand do you want to break? Tell me now," Su Che said as he took out his wallet and took out some cash. "If you're not the police, what are you doing here?" Su Che pushed the man away, and the others naturally did not dare to act rashly. Without being stopped, Sheng Xiao walked up to Mu Chi and pulled her into his arms. "I'll deal with you when we get back. There's someone in the house who's not feeling well. Let the ambulance come and pick him up," Mu Chi said, pointing inside the house. Although the men were wary, they were not educated enough to think in such a roundabout way. Soon, the ambulance arrived, and 2 nurses got out of the car, carrying a stretcher. Then, they came out of the house quickly, putting the person and the stretcher into the ambulance and closing the door. The police shared a look with Mu Chi, signaling that everything was in order. That was when Mu Chi looked up at Sheng Xiao. "Let's go home." There were a dozen bodyguards in black, and each of them looked extraordinarily heroic. They were probably as skilled as the man who broke the stick with his bare hands. The men in the town did not dare to offend them, and could only watch as they left the courtyard. As long as the corpse was not damaged, why should they care? Little did they know that the corpse was already in the ambulance. "Xiao Xiao, don't you know that you're a hero in the police force now?" Sheng Xiao did not listen to her flattery at all, and simply pinned her on his thighs, giving her a good spanking. "All I see is you being surrounded by a group of men, holding sticks that could break your head at any time. I've already been obedient enough to call you." Mu Chi-Chi's tears were welling in her eyes. "You don't know how worried I was when you weren't here, but now that you're here, I feel at ease. I'll deal with you tonight." After all, Su Che was driving. It was a flying car. To prevent Mu Chi from vomiting, Sheng Xiao held her upright. Soon, they arrived at a small town nearby, and the professor came out of the ambulance with Feng Shanshan. "That's enough. You should go back to Jianchuan. The police will come to support me, and I must go to the hospital to dissect the corpse now. Professor, let us know as soon as possible." Feng Shanshan was not in the same car as Mu Chi and Sheng Xiao. She was Sheng Xiao's bodyguard. After a few hours, Mama Sheng saw Mu Chi in a mess when they reached home. "Chi, where did you and Sheng Xiao come from?" Chapter 443. "I see. Hurry up and take a shower. We'll be waiting for dinner." Mu Chi did not dare to provoke the black-faced monster behind her, so she ran upstairs. A moment later, Sheng Xiao came in too. He picked Mu Chi up and threw her into the bathroom. "It's only a 3-4 hour drive today. I won't be able to make it if it's too far next time. What are you going to do?" Mu Chi hugged Sheng Xiao and took deep breaths. It was as if that was the only way she could feel that she was not dreaming. She had slept so close to the red-dressed woman's corpse yesterday. Even now, it was still very horrifying. "In order to protect myself, I can do anything. Believe me." Looking at her little face, there were dark circles under her eyes. She must not have slept well in the mountains for the past 2 days. Thinking of this, Sheng Xiao did not continue to reprimand her. He hugged the little one and happily took a bath. Then, he went downstairs to eat in high spirits. However, just as Mu Chi picked up her bowl and chopsticks, the professor called. "The cause of death has been found. It's zinc phosphide poisoning. The victim's face was destroyed by sulfuric acid, so we could not see any signs. It's different from the other 2 red-dressed women's deaths. It's not the same killer." Things seemed to be getting more complicated. The professor would probably be staying there for half a month. When Mu Qiqi finished the call and saw Sheng Zhao's stern expression, she put down her phone and started eating seriously. By the way, when will the interview be aired? Will the magazine be released? If I'm not mistaken, it should be the day after tomorrow. The electronic magazine will be released at the same time, Sheng Xiao said. Doesn't that mean you can slap the Sheng family in the face? Sheng Xiao turned and glared at her. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not going to talk to you. Just eat. The man saw through her again. Mu Qiqi could not help but snicker. She felt sweet inside. Thanks to you, I have to work overtime tonight. I'll go with you. Sheng Xiao did not believe her. When did she not curl up on his body and sleep like a koala? Feng Shanshan also returned home to the house that she had just rented out. She was also afraid of the female corpse, but she had no choice. Thinking that she was back in Jianchuan and could still find her friends, her mood did not seem that heavy. While she envied everything Mu Qiqi had, her pride would not allow her to do anything that would destroy the relationship between Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao. She knew very well that she could not destroy it. Only the Sheng family would overestimate themselves. After all, Grandpa Sheng's calls were even more frequent than before. He was frantically trying to find out about Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao, and how Sheng Xiao would react. Even so, apart from having the chance to be with Mu Qiqi, did she have the ability to get close to Sheng Xiao? That was an almost impossible task. Like a vampire, the Sheng family kept sucking Sheng Xiao's blood. In just a few days, Huang Yao had used Zhongting to negotiate many contracts that they could not get in the past. The whole family was undoubtedly a drama queen. Still, Feng Shanshan could not understand why Sheng Xiao did not retaliate. Of course, she could not ask Mu Qiqi either, and would simply answer whatever old Sheng asked, since that was all she knew anyway. News that the Sheng family and Sheng Xiao were reconciling spread like wildfire. After all, Sheng Xiao did not come out to refute it, and did that mean that he was tacitly agreeing to the Sheng family's actions? Because of that, old Sheng had more opportunities to attend public events, often appearing in front of the entertainment public. Such was the wonder that Sheng Xiao could bring to him. Shang Kai could not help feeling displeased over that. Since the old man had handed Huang Yao to him, he should not be using Zhongting's name every day to reminisce and eat with others. Over the last 6 months, he had been conscientious in Huang Yao, bringing it to a whole new level. However, the old man's attitude changed once Zhongting came out. Because of that, Shang Kai drank a little at a social event, and even needed someone's help when he returned home. When Gu Xiling saw how delirious Shang Kai was, she suddenly came up with an idea. Shang Kai would not remember anything when he was drunk, and she would use those few times to collect samples for tests, which she would then send to the hospital for tests. They could have exposed it directly, but Shang Kai was already sensitive and paranoid in the last few days, and he would definitely lose his mind if they talked about issues related to a man's dignity. That was why it was safer to do it in secret. Shang Kai would not know what his wife had done when he was drunk. Test results? In fact, there was a ready-made one in his office desk. When third brother heard about Shang Kai's hangover last night, he suddenly felt that the man was both hateful and pitiful. During breakfast, old Sheng scolded Shang Kai. I didn't hand the great Huang Yao to you so that you could drink. You're the great CEO of Huang Yao. How improper. Shang Kai was not fully sober, and so did not take the old man's words to heart. Third brother, on the other hand, argued with the old man. You used to treasure second brother before eighth brother rose to power, grandfather. How could you turn against him so quickly? Eighth brother didn't even agree to let you ride on his coattails, and you're already slapping your own face. Third brother, you're always feeling indignant over this and that. You should at least show some results so that grandfather would see you differently. I just want to tell you that eighth brother has changed a lot over the last 6 months. If you think that he's still the same as before, going against you for everything, then you're wrong. The reason why he's not making a sound now is definitely because he's planning a counterattack. Don't think that he's a docile cat just because he's not roaring at you. No matter what he does, I'm his grandfather. That's a fact that no one can change. Before, Shang Kai had assumed that Gu Xiling had brought it up so that the old man would not hurt his health. Now, however, the old man was completely treating himself as the CEO of Zhongting. Unlike them, eighth brother was not at the mercy of the old man. I'm meeting Chairman Bai for tea today. Go do whatever you need to do. Third brother chuckled mockingly, feeling that the old man was humiliating himself. Third brother, there are times when I don't understand whether you're closer to eighth brother or your family. Could you tell me what you think? Shang Kai asked third brother. I'm not eating. Do whatever you want. Third brother did not want to talk to the Shang family. After all, the Shang family would not listen to anything he had to say. Well, they could only wait for eighth brother's revenge. Chapter 444. In fact, Zhongting's secretarial office had also received a lot of calls, but Sheng Xiao had instructed them not to respond to any of them. Let the old man show off for a few more days. On the other hand, it had been a few days since Lin Mu and Lu Qianqian met. Initially, Lin Mu and's campus life had been peaceful. However, someone started spreading rumors that Lin Mu and's girlfriend was a whore, and rumors about Lu Qianqian started spreading. His roommates were not convinced, and so asked Lin Mu and little sister-in-law, "Did you really get together with someone else and have an abortion? That has nothing to do with you." Lin Mu and appeared calm. "Bro Lin, I think you're a little silly. What kind of girl can't you find in this world?" "But no one is little chilly," Lin Mu replied calmly. "Then aren't you angry that people are spreading rumors about little sister-in-law?" "If I'm angry, I'm falling into someone's trap." What he had to do was to keep his heart as steady as a rock, unaffected by the outside world. As long as he trusted Little Pepper enough and did not respond to those so-called rumors, those people would get bored sooner or later. Of course, if someone was not used to him, they could challenge him face to face. That left the transfer student upset. She thought that Lin Mu would immediately come to her and interrogate her if she was the one who spread the news about Lu Qianqian. Then, she could pretend to admit it and have a big fight with Lin Mu. It would be best if she got hurt to liven things up, and someone else would tell Lin Mu and that he had misunderstood her. It was a good setup, but Lin Mu did not play by the rules. Why? Because Lin Mu more or less understood such tricks. Come to think of it, the old man would definitely be annoyed if he sent someone to school to watch him, and that was not a long-term plan. That was why the old man must have some other tricks up his sleeve. All he could do was to stay the same. At night, his roommates were lying in bed, asking Lin Mu about the story between him and Lu Qianqian. Knowing that they misunderstood Lu Qianqian, Lin Mu told them about the Lu Qianqian he knew. After hearing what Brother Lin said, "I feel that sister-in-law is great in every way. She's pretty, loyal, and sometimes domineering. She's also kind. Other than being a little blind in the past, she really doesn't have any flaws." If that's the case, I can actually understand why Brother Lin is so hell-bent on sister-in-law. Look, Brother Lin used to be a third-generation celebrity. He gave up everything in his family to protect sister-in-law and live such a tough life. If this isn't love, what's there to be sad about? As they chatted in the dormitory, his roommates finally understood why Lin Mu was so indifferent to the transfer student who had confessed to him. Sometimes, men like to talk with their lower bodies. However, not everyone would be moved by a man like Lin Mu. He was neither fast nor slow when it came to relationships. He would not give you any chance to take advantage of him. It would not be easy to drive a wedge between him and Lu Qianqian. What Lin Mu did not know was that his roommates had added Lu Qianqian as a friend when they were having lunch in the canteen. Now that they started chatting, things were getting out of hand. "Don't worry, sister-in-law. Brother Lin's feelings for you are more real than the pearls in the sea." Lu Qianqian was bewildered. Naturally, she ignored Lin Mu's lackey. After returning from the mountains, Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan did not interfere with the case of the red-dressed corpse. The police were still expanding the scope of their investigation. Although the 3 murder cases looked similar, the way the 3 girls died was different, which did not match the killer's style of consecutive crimes. That was why they had to solve the cases separately. Meanwhile, the professor learned some taboos about the town from the parents of the victims. It was said that in that town, all the girls who had a relationship with a man before they were married would wear red clothes and then die a violent death. After these girls died, no one was allowed to touch them. They had to be buried on the spot. Otherwise, evil spirits would be awakened, and those who touched them would be killed. In serious cases, it could even bring misfortune to the entire town. What kind of rumor is that? It's not attractive at all. Chi could not help laughing at the professor's words. Chi, take a look at the newspaper I sent you. Chi stopped smiling and opened the email the professor had sent her. It turned out that there had been several cases like this in the town, where women died wearing red, some years ago, some decades ago. It was no wonder there were so few girls in the town. These are all copycat crimes, riding on the ride of the rumor. Either way, the town is full of mysteries. If that was the case, the police would have their hands full. The next day, Old Sheng had an appointment with a business partner to go for a stroll at the racecourse. He had taken a liking to several fine horses. Third brother felt as if the old man's life was floating, and he was completely unsure of where he was going. At 10 in the morning, the magazine's interview with Shang Xiao was broadcasted on their special column. It was also because of the interview that everyone understood Shang Xiao's real attitude towards Huang Yao. Huang Yao and Shang Xiao's attitude has been ambiguous lately, and I thought that Shang Xiao was really going back to the Shang family. But it turns out that Shang Xiao hasn't seen any of them over the last 6 months. So the real founder of Zhongting is the Shun family. Why does Huang Yao make it seem as if Zhongting rose because of them? Isn't Huang Yao a little too shameless? They're completely putting gold on their faces. Look at Sheng Zhao's answer. He only wants to be the closest of strangers to the Sheng family. He clearly doesn't want to return to Huang Yao. Why is Huang Yao so agitated? Why is it so agitated? The Sheng family simply did not expect that Sheng Xiao would directly accept an interview from the magazine to clarify his relationship with Huang Yao. That was why the Sheng family had yet to receive news of the interview when it was posted. While the people involved did not know, the audience was already laughing at the family. Why were they so ambiguous? Wasn't it because Zhongteng was rising and the Sheng family wanted freeload? Or perhaps they wanted to snatch Zhongteng directly from Sheng Zhao's hands? Chapter 445. Would the old man be in the mood to watch a video now? That was why he would not know that all of Jianchuan was now talking about Huang Yao and the Sheng family. Chairman Bai, who was at the equestrian field with him, had also received the news. However, given old Sheng's current status, it was not appropriate to expose him, and so he greeted him with a smile. Still, the partnership they were about to discuss would have to be postponed for now, and they would have to be given time to figure out what was going on. Old Sheng was completely unaware of the huge reaction from the outside world, and was simply puzzled because Chairman Bai had asked him before he left, "Old Sheng, did you say that Shang Xiao returned to the Sheng family last month? That kid has definitely changed now." Was that not a tacit admission? Chairman Bai didn't say anything. He just smiled meaningfully. Old Sheng could not help being puzzled at that, and only saw the video Sixth brother had sent him on his way home. Not only did Sheng Xiao cut himself off from the Sheng family and declare that he had not seen any of them over the last 6 months, he had also given all credit to the Shun family and had nothing to do with the Sheng family. Most importantly, Sheng Xiao had completely drawn a line between himself and Huang Yao. The old man could not help shaking all over. No wonder Chairman Bai had asked him that question just now. Old Sheng's old face was probably lost all over the world now. That was why Old Sheng's face was red in embarrassment after he finished watching the video. "Are you all right, Chairman?" The driver quickly asked when he saw that. "Drive your car," Old Sheng retorted angrily. Sheng Xiao was not giving the Sheng family any face at all. What an interesting wolf to raise. In fact, it was not just the old man who was embarrassed. Everyone in the Sheng family felt the same. Before, Huang Yao had played the ambiguous card with the outside world, with everyone smiling tacitly as if the relationship between the Sheng family and Sheng Xiao was slowly mending. And now, the entire world knew about Sheng Zhao's exclusive interview, and the Sheng family was shamelessly leeching off his popularity. Was that embarrassing? How embarrassing. There was nothing more shameful than this. Soon, old Sheng returned home, and Sheng Kai came to greet him. Grandfather. All right, I know what happened. Old Sheng said, a little embarrassed and angry. I really didn't expect Sheng Xiao to be so cold-blooded and heartless. He didn't even give Huang Yao any face. Sitting in a living room and watching television, third brother snickered inwardly. He had said it before, but this family did not believe him. Now that Sheng Xiao had struck back with such a resounding slap, could the Sheng family do anything about it? Now, all of them were so embarrassed that they wished they could find a hole to hide in. Do you believe me? Hearing third brother's question, Sheng Kai turned to him and asked, Did you already know about this? Did you know that eighth brother would do this? When third brother heard that, he knew that Sheng Xiao was going to accuse him again. He quickly raised his hands. I swear to God, I don't know anything. I haven't left the house since I was suspended. You can check my phone records and see if I talked to eighth brother. Don't accuse me of everything. I've told you before that eighth brother has changed a lot, and he wouldn't fight you head-on now. Haven't you all understood the $6.5 billion trick? He's mature and steady now, and wouldn't trouble you on the surface. But behind the scenes, you wouldn't even know how you died. Well, according to you, how should we redeem Huang Yao's lost reputation? Huang Yao has come this far, with the Gu family and the Su family behind. Does grandfather still need to find a powerful backer? As the largest diamond empire in the country, does Huang Yao need to rely on others now? You were the ones who were not confident and let eighth brother lead you by the nose. Who else can you blame? Now, there's no way to redeem Huang Yao's lost reputation. This is the lesson you all deserve. If you can't take it and keep bothering eighth brother, just you wait. Once eighth brother is angered, he would turn against Huang Yao. With his background now, it would be too easy for him to make things difficult for Huang Yao. With a new company like him, Old Sheng did not think that Sheng Xiao could hurt Huang Yao. How could he set up a research department and develop weapons? Do you think that's something a businessman could do? I'm not sure who eighth brother knows, but I do know that he's close with Secretary He of the military. What's more, he's just a new company. Isn't Grandpa also rushing to get involved with him? After all, Grandfather knows very well that eighth brother is terrifying because of his ability. That was something the Sheng family had to admit, even if they were unwilling. Old Sheng and Sheng Kai would never accept that fact, which is why third brother felt that he was wasting his breath. The old man said nothing else and quietly returned to his study. If he let Sheng Xiao go just like that, he wouldn't be able to rest in peace even if he died. What could he do to completely conquer eighth brother? Zhongteng is declaring to the world that they have nothing to do with Huang Yao. Look at how Huang Yao has behaved before. It's such a slap in the face. By the way, Sheng Xiao was completely forced away by Chairman Sheng's forcefulness. That old man is so controlling. I'm afraid I'd go crazy if anyone dictates what I have to do or who I have to marry. It's worse than going to jail. Let's see if the people of Huang Yao would go around flirting in the future. That night, everyone in the Sheng family had a tacit understanding among themselves. It was too embarrassing. When Sheng Kai returned to his room, he told Gu Xiling, eighth brother has really crossed the line this time. He didn't even leave Huang Yao any face. He shouldn't be so heartless to the family that gave birth to him and raised him even if he has to shed all pretense. It's already happened. You don't have to be so angry. Gu Xiling comforted him. You're the great CEO of Huang Yao. How could you be so petty? Sheng Kai sighed and closed his eyes. I feel like I'm always living under eighth brother's shadow. I don't know how to escape his existence. You've done very well over the last 6 months. Gu Xiling advised. Go take a shower. I've already filled the water for you. Sheng Kai said nothing else and went straight into the bathroom. When he came out again, Gu Xiling had prepared a glass of red wine. I'll talk to you since you're upset. In that very moment, Sheng Kai thought that Gu Xiling was being considerate. However, he would never know that Gu Xiling was only doing it because she wanted to take 3 of his testicles for testing. Chapter 446. It was the same night. The Shen family was filled with laughter and cheers. Huang Yu and Mama Sheng would prepare a sumptuous dinner every time they bought something good and share it with the family. Especially when Sheng Zhao's exclusive interview was released today, the whole family gathered together to gossip and watch how outsiders humiliate the Sheng family. It's so satisfying to hear the comments out there today. It's worth everyone having a drink just for this matter. I'm so disgusted by the Sheng family these days. The Sheng family raised their glasses, and Huang Yu echoed. Mu Qiqi looked at the two elders and could not help saying to Sheng Xiao, Mom and second aunt must have been sisters in a past life. You don't like it? Mu Qiqi pursed her lips and smiled. Who could be closer than our two families? How could it not be? I just hope that the Sheng family would restrain themselves and not do anything that would embarrass everyone. Sheng Xiao did not say anything. Mu Qiqi understood why he did not say anything, and so kept quiet and continued eating her food. Actually, it did not matter. If the Sheng family wanted to send them off, they could just keep humiliating them. That night, old Sheng stayed in his study for the whole night. Worried about the old man's health, sixth brother went in and knocked on the door. The old man could not help sneering. Would he let anything happen to him before he could handle Sheng Zhao's matter? Still, he felt that Feng Shanshan was no longer useful as a chess piece. That was why he called Feng Shanshan and asked her to come and settle things. When Feng Shanshan saw Sheng Zhao's interview, she thought to herself that she was too naive. How could Sheng Xiao not retaliate? Once the video of the interview was released, all of Jianchuan was laughing at the Sheng family. As expected of Sheng Xiao, that was his style. That was why she expected old Sheng to come to her. Soon, Feng Shanshan stood in front of old Sheng and saw the check he put on the table. Take the money and leave. But don't let anyone know about this. I believe you're a smart child. Are you not going to deal with Mu Qiqi in the future? Feng Shanshan asked in return. That has nothing to do with you. The old man replied. In fact, the old man looked down on people like Feng Shanshan. However, it was best to control people like her who were paid off. Unfortunately, other than the beginning, Feng Shanshan had never done anything for him seriously. All right then, Chairman Sheng, I wish you the best. With that, Feng Shanshan took the check and left Grandpa Sheng's study. Still, she ran into Gu Xiling when she left the Sheng residence. It's Grandpa's money. Don't you think it's hot to take it? Don't you think you've just cheated an old man's feelings? The chairman took the initiative to look for me, Feng Shanshan clarified. You should have told me earlier that you can't deal with Mu Qiqi. You fooled an old man for half a year and earned so much money. Do you think it's worth it? It seemed that Gu Xiling was deliberately making things difficult for her. What? Young madam, do you want my money back? Feng Shanshan waved the check in her hand. I wouldn't go so far as to ask for it back, since it's Grandpa who gave it to you. I don't really care about that bit of money, but I just hope that you won't appear in the Sheng family in the future. There's always a difference in status between people. Feng Shanshan sneered. Young madam and Mu Qiqi, who's also a young lady, are worlds apart. I suddenly understand the crown prince's choice back then. What are you trying to say? Young madam may have a delicate body, but she has a Philistine soul. With that, Feng Shanshan took the money and left the living room. As for Gu Xiling, it was one thing that she couldn't gain anything from Mu Qiqi, but she was defeated by Feng Shanshan too. After all, Feng Shanshan was proud, and her pride came from her confidence in her own abilities. How could she be trampled by a pretty face like Gu Xiling? Right now, Gu Xiling was completely unaware that she had almost knelt before Feng Shanshan in the future. There was nothing she could do about it now, even if she had to pay for it in the future. Feng Shanshan did not mistreat herself after getting the money, renting a high-class apartment with her friends and investing the rest of the money. She had wanted to use the money to buy Mu Qiqi a meal, but she probably wouldn't be willing to come out given Mu Qiqi's personality. Still, she was willing to do it if the Sheng family wanted her to keep an eye on Mu Qiqi in the future. How interesting would that be? 3 days after the incident, the Sheng family was mocked for 3 days, and Grandpa Sheng did not step out of the house for 3 days. Sheng Kai did not want to go to any public events either. Aside from feeling humiliated, he also did not want to see others pointing fingers at him. It was fortunate that Gu Xiling kept encouraging him, drinking and chatting with him every day. Otherwise, he really did not know how he could walk out of Sheng Zhao's shadow. However, he didn't know that Gu Xiling had already received his examination report on that aspect at this moment. The doctor told her frankly, "Madam, your husband's condition is due to immune infertility. His current condition doesn't look ideal, which is why it's recommended to get treatment as soon as possible. There might still be hope." Gu Xiling felt as if she had been struck by lightning when she heard that. No wonder she couldn't get pregnant after half a year. "But my husband doesn't have much of a problem in that aspect. Madam, not everyone will have those symptoms, but they will become more obvious as they get older." At that moment, Gu Xiling was having a mental breakdown. It was not easy for her to marry such a person. She thought that he was strong and good enough. She did not expect that he could not even give birth to a child. If this matter were to spread, wouldn't she be laughed at too? Gu Xiling became impatient at the thought, because she did not know what to do next. Was she going to fall out with Shang Kai just like that? Even so, it would be a lie to say that she had no feelings for Shang Kai after half a year of love. Thus, Gu Xiling returned home, deliberately avoiding the door of Grandpa Sheng's study when she saw that it was open. If Grandpa Sheng were to ask about the child again in the future, how would she answer? Was there anything she could think of? Of course, Gu Xiling's brain was not thinking of all those messy ideas yet. Still, she would try anything when she was desperate. Mu Qiqi and Feng Shanshan were still paying attention to the matter of the red-dressed female corpse. Still, the matter was very complicated now because it involved many people. Still, from Mu Qiqi's point of view, no matter what previous cases there were, they should solve this one as soon as possible before following up. Since it was not a serial murder, they should investigate one by one. Mu Qiqi could not help feeling bitter when she thought of the old couple that day. Although the girl was older than her, she was in the prime of her life. That was why Mu Qiqi wanted to be involved and contribute to solving the case. Chapter 447. Ever since she met the transfer student from the police academy, Lu Qianqian had been visiting Lin Mu more often. Sometimes she would buy him snacks, other times she would buy him toys that boys liked, and would often show up in front of the guards. Still, Lin Mu did not know that she was already aware of the rumors in the academy, thanks to the snitches in the dormitory. Still, she was not afraid, although she did not appear in front of the students. She did not want Lin Mu to be criticized. Lin Mu sensed something and asked her, "Did you hear something?" Lu Qianqian sat on the grass and patted her chest. "I'm invulnerable now. What do you think I should be afraid of? I don't want you to get hurt. That's my own doing. It has nothing to do with you. What's wrong with you today? Why are you being so sentimental?" Seeing that Lu Qianqian was about to get angry, Lin Mu picked up the food she had prepared and started wolfing it down. "You came at the right time today. I'm going to the tournament tomorrow morning, and I'm content to see you before that. That transfer student is going too. Who cares about her? I didn't notice," Lin Mu said heartlessly. "Little Pepper, even if I really want a girlfriend, I'm not looking for a girl who has something to do with Grandpa. Why would I care what kind you're looking for? You troublemaker. I'll give you the gold medal when I get it to offset my debt of lodging at your place. Where are you going?" Lu Qianqian turned to look at Lin Mu. For some reason, her heart felt empty and uneasy at the thought of him going out, and she did not know if something would happen to him. "I'm going to the National Training Center. My flight is tomorrow morning. Be careful. It's almost time. I should go back." But that was when Lin Mu suddenly lay down on the ground and turned to Lu Qianqian. "I've called Uncle and Annie. You'll be going back later tonight. Watch the stars with me." Lu Qianqian did a double take and lay down as well. "Don't you have to go back to school? I've asked for leave. I'll be back before lights out at 11. Actually, I'm going abroad for a few days too." Lu Qianqian smiled. "That's why I thought of coming to feed you." Lin Mu reached out and flicked Lu Qianqian's forehead hard. Lu Qianqian reflexively grabbed his hand. Both of them were stunned at the same time. Lu Qianqian quickly shook his hand off. "You scumbag, you're taking advantage of me again. I wish I could spend the rest of my life like this. To lie down and watch the stars in peace and warmth?" He was afraid that it would be difficult to have such an opportunity in the future. The next day, Lin Mu and the other school representatives boarded a plane and left. It was also the same day that Papa Lu suffered a heart attack and was in critical condition in the hospital. Lu Qianqian and her mother were frightened, but they did not know who to ask for help. Now, Lu Qianqian was waiting for Lu Qianqian to take over the company, but with her current ability, she could not do it alone. Lu Qianqian was at a loss. She wanted to call Lin Mu in, but Lin Mu was in a match, so she hesitated and held back. So, she called Mu Qiqi. After settling the matter with Duan Xiao, and she only had Mu Qiqi and Lin Mu and as friends. When Mu Qiqi heard about Lu Qianqian's condition, she rushed to the hospital. But when she reached the hospital, Papa Lu had already died. Lu Qianqian went to shake his body as if she had gone mad, but it was useless. Mu Qiqi quickly hugged her and comforted her. Qianqian, Qiqi, you don't know. Papa was fine this morning. He even praised the breakfast I made. Lu Qianqian sat on the floor in grief and cried uncontrollably. I'm unfilial. I let Papa die in shame. As a daughter, I didn't repay him for raising me. Papa. Mu Qiqi knew the pain of bereavement. Wasn't her mother lying motionless on a hospital bed? Qianqian, you have to pull yourself together now. You still have to support your mother. She has lost her husband and support. She is the one who is most worried. Don't you know? Lu Qianqian looked at her mother and knelt to her, reaching out to hug her. Mommy, Mama Lu hugged Lu Qianqian, and both mother and daughter sobbed loudly in the resuscitation room. Mu Qiqi did not stop them. She knew that grief was a basic human right. If she did not let them cry in peace, there would be no place to vent the pain in their hearts. Things happened suddenly, but Papa Lu's funeral and the aftermath had to be dealt with. He had left in a hurry and did not even leave any last words. He loved his daughter so much. Mu Qiqi followed Lu Qianqian back to Lu Mansion and kept her company. Meanwhile, Papa Lu's secretary kept calling her, asking how he was doing. There were still a lot of things in the company waiting to be dealt with. My father is gone. Let the vice president take charge of everything in the company. Papa Lu's secretary was quiet at that, and only said to Lu Qianqian after a long while, My condolences, young lady. Look after the company. Don't let anyone cause trouble when my father is not around. Don't worry, young lady, Lu Qianqian said mechanically. Then, she leaned on Mu Qiqi. Qiqi, do you know, I really hate myself for not cherishing every bit of time I had with him. Until now, I haven't been able to take a good photo with Dad. I haven't been able to go out with him. I always make him angry. Mu Qiqi hugged Lu Qianqian tightly, but she felt that her arms were not strong enough. Although she did not know if she was doing the right thing, she still sent Lin Mu a message. Uncle Lu has passed away. Qianqian needs you. Lin Mu and promptly jumped off the training ground when he read the message and quickly booked a flight home. Lin Mu, the competition is coming up. What are you doing? Coach, I'm not competing. My family has passed away. The coach understood his feelings at once. If you leave now, you would be automatically eliminated from the individual competition. Lin Mu, it's such a good chance. With your ability, Coach, I would regret not being able to see my family for the rest of my life. The coach paused, but eventually let him go. You have to think it through. If you give up this time, you won't be allowed to compete in the future. Lin Mu left casually and booked the next flight home. Chapter 448. In the evening, the morning hall was set up at the Lu family's residence, and Papa Lu's obituary was sent out. Every friend and family of the Lu family came to pay their respects. Mu Qiqi stood beside Lu Qianqian, watching as she stood beside the morning hall in a black dress and bowed to the guests with Mama Lu. Soon, Sheng Xiao arrived at the Lu family's residence, and it was only then that they offered incense to Papa Lu. Thank you, Crown Prince. Lu Qianqian bowed to Sheng Xiao in thanks. Just tell me if you need anything. Thank you. Mu Qiqi's eyes reddened when she saw Lu Qianqian's incessant tears. It was the second time Qianqian had gone through such a huge change. Sheng Xiao saw that his little one's eyes were reddening, so he put an arm around her waist and led her out of the morning hall for a breath of fresh air. Soon, Lin Muin arrived at the Liu family's residence. Chi-Chi, crown prince. Qian is inside. She looks very haggard. Mu Chi-Chi told Lin Muin. Moreover, Auntie Liu told me in the afternoon that the uncles of the Liu family are eyeing Liu holdings covetously. There is no man in the Liu family now. I asked you to come back because I hope that you can help Qian. Do you really want to be friends for the rest of your lives? At that, Lin Muin took off his coat with the colors on it and threw it on the floor. As long as Qian needs me, I will definitely be her support. Lin Muin said without hesitation. On the way back, his heart was in turmoil, and he couldn't calm down. His heart ached at the thought that his little Pepper had lost her father, and he could not breathe. Mu Chi-Chi did not say much, and simply let him in to help. After all, Mu Chi-Chi had a feeling that Qian would tell Lin Mu, and something she might not tell her. Lin Mu nodded and entered the morning hall. His tears almost fell the moment his eyes met Liu Qian's. Liu Qian walked towards Lin Mu and in disbelief. Why are you back? Brat, why didn't you tell me about something so important? Lin Mu said, grabbing her hand. Is it because I'm not free of the Lin family's control that I'm not worthy of your trust? It happened too suddenly, and you're in the middle of a match. I don't want you to ruin your future because of me. Bullsh *T future. I can still fight for it in the future. With this heart, I don't believe that I will fail no matter what I do. The most important thing now is to send Uncle on his last journey. You and your daughter should rest well. Leave the arrangements and chores to me. Liu Qian nodded with reddened eyes. Her tears fell uncontrollably. People say that a friend in need is a friend indeed. I think this is the best test for their relationship. Xiao, there's nothing I can do for Qian. Let's send some people over to guard the three of them and prevent others from causing trouble. Is that okay? Sheng Xiao nodded. Don't cry anymore. If you go home with red eyes, Mom will ask you again. I can't control myself. I'm also very worried about Qian and her mother in the future. Gu Ziling's attitude towards Shang Kai had changed a little after learning that he was infertile. She did not know how to face a man who could not even give her a child, just as she did not know where their relationship would go. Shang Kai had been preoccupied with anger and sorrow over the last few days and did not notice Gu Ziling's feelings in time. Although the two of them were lying on the same bed, there was a saying that went like this. They were now a couple who share a bed, but dreamed different dreams. Sheng Zhao's dominance had once again cast a dark cloud over the Sheng family. Even so, as Third Brother said, the real pressure on old Sheng and Shang Kai was their unwillingness and dissatisfaction, and not Sheng Zhao's own pressure. Third Brother was still not reinstated. No one cared about his feelings, because he was now a traitor in the eyes of old Sheng and Shang Kai. They believed that he must know about Sheng Xiao, but did not tell the rest of the Sheng family. Third Brother was not angry over it either. He packed his things and was ready to leave the Sheng family for overseas. But when Sheng Xiao left, old Sheng swore that no one could be left in the family. So, Third Brother wanted to leave? Not even a chance. You won't let me leave or do what I want. Tell me, are you imprisoning me? Third Brother asked the old man directly. Can't you just let me go like I'm a fart? I'll set you free when you truly care for the Shang family. Third Brother finally understood what the old man meant and promptly smashed his phone. I won't use my phone or contact Eighth Brother. You'll believe me, won't you? It's not that I won't let you contact Eighth Brother, but you want me to steal secrets and information from Eighth Brother, don't you? Third Brother laughed coldly. I'm going back to my room. Since when did this family become so deformed? Third Brother could not help thinking. Although he really did not want to use that trick, he simply jumped out of the window and left the house in the middle of the night. There were times when he found his grandfather pitiful, but there were also times when he found him insane. There must be something hateful about a pitiful person. With nowhere else to go, Third Brother could only go to Sheng Xiao pitifully. Still, both Sheng Xiao and Mu Chi-Chi had yet to return home because of Liu Qian. Mama Sheng called out to Third Brother, and when she saw that he was barefooted, she handed him his shoes. You look so haggard coming out. I jumped out of the window, eldest aunt. You don't even have your freedom now? Mama Sheng was utterly taken aback. Third Brother smiled bitterly, but did not answer. He really did not even have the basic dignity of a human. You can sleep in the guest room tonight. Eighth brother and Mu Chi are at a friend's father's funeral and haven't returned yet. Boo! Have you heard of the Liu family? Mu Chi's best friend's father had a heart attack today and died. Third brother became quiet at that. You don't have to take care of me, eldest aunt. You can sleep with eldest uncle. I'll wait for them in the living room. Third brother seemed to have heard about the little girl from the Liu family. She did not have a good reputation. Still, she was not a bad person if she could be friends with Xiao Qi. Mu Chi and Sheng Xiao stayed outside the Liu family's house until 1 in the morning before leaving. There was no one in the morning hall by then. Mama Liu only had time to thank him when she saw that he was busy. Thank you, Moon. You and Mu Chi are the only ones who remember us now. Chapter 449. I'm fine, Liu Qianqian said. Then, Annie, why don't you go and rest first? Then, you can come down and take Qianqian's place. Is that okay? Mama Liu thought about it and decided that it was the only way. After all, she still had her daughter to take care of and could not collapse just like that. So, she listened to Lin Mu and prepared to go back to her room to rest. Since her husband was gone, she could only be a mother. Liu Qianqian helped Lin Mu and up as he knelt on the ground. You've done enough for my father. You don't have to keep kneeling. Lin Mu and only dared to hug Liu Qianqian after Mama Liu left. He did it very gently and without any intention of offending her. I just want to reassure Uncle that I will take care of you and your daughter in his place. You still need someone to take care of you. Liu Qianqian was a little disdainful. Then let's take care of each other and get through all the difficulties together. Is that okay? Lin Mu asked Liu Qianqian with a smile. I might not be able to get the gold medal back, but I will stay by your side and not let you be helpless. After hearing this, Liu Qianqian burst into tears again. I won't let myself collapse, even if it's to protect you and my mother. After hearing her words, Lin Mu sat down and patted his shoulder. Lean on it. It's very reliable. You can sleep for a while. Liu Qianqian leaned on him and closed her eyes. Although she still wanted to cry, she felt a lot better with Lin Mu around. Since they had no one to rely on, they could only rely on each other for warmth. It was already 2 in the morning when Mu Chi and Lin Sanjiu reached home. When they entered the living room, they saw third brother watching TV on the sofa and thought that they had come to the wrong house. You're finally back. I'm here to stay. Chased out by the Sheng family. Sheng Xiao smiled. I jumped off the building and ran away. Third brother shrugged. Because I think everyone in the family is crazy. Second brother is crazy, and so is Grandpa. I can't stand living under your shadow every day. So, I ran away. I can let you stay, but you have to work to pay off the debt. Sure, be your bodyguard or something. With your skills. It was not that Sheng Xiao despised him, but Su Che could beat him to his knees with one hand. However, staying here is not a long-term solution. You have to find your own way out. After all, the old man will not allow you to stay here. I'm going to sleep. That was something third brother knew better than anyone else. Still, he felt sad when he thought about it. Everyone wanted to escape the old man's control, but who else in the large Sheng family would have the wisdom and the heart to do so apart from eighth brother? Sheng Kai. He himself was trapped in the fog and could not get out. The next morning, Mu Chi took a detour to visit Liu Qianqian before going to school, and found that Liu Qianqian's complexion was much better with Lin Mu's help. In the end, she did not make the wrong decision. I brought you breakfast. Qianqian, if you need any help from me and Xiao Xiao, just let us know. Don't force yourself at this time. Liu Qianqian looked at the bodyguards outside the morning hall and smiled at Mu Chi. We have received your kindness, Crown Prince. Don't worry, I will not give up. Hurry up and go to class. I will call you if I need anything. In fact, these bodyguards were there to prevent Liu Qianqian's uncles and Grandpa Lin from causing trouble. How could Grandpa Lin bear it when he heard that his grandson was busy in someone else's morning hall? Arranging these bodyguards was just a precautionary measure. Tell me the time of Uncle Liu's burial when you are done. Then, Xiao Xiao and I will send him off for the last time. All right. Liu Qianqian nodded. Go in. After Lu Qianqian went in, Lin Muan chased after her. Xiao Qi, thank you for telling me about this. Otherwise, I would have regretted it. You don't understand. What kind of feelings do you have for Qianqian? Mu Qiqi asked him anxiously. I don't have time to figure it out now. I only know that I can't bear to see her cry. I just want to be by her side and do something for her. Mu Qiqi smiled and shook her head. At least you have some manliness. With that, Mu Qiqi left. That was when Lin Mu and noticed a white car parked by the roadside. Grandpa Lin rolled down the window and exchanged glances with his grandson. But Lin Muan pretended not to see it. He simply told the bodyguards, keep a close watch. Don't let anyone cause trouble. Grandpa Lin was certainly not so low as to cause trouble in someone else's mourning hall. But Lin Mu and was a grandson of the Lin family. How could he not be angry when he was buried in someone else's mourning hall? Since the pillar of the Lu family had fallen and the other forces of the Lu family were stirring, it was more important to take the chance to force Lu Qianqian and her daughter abroad. Drive. Lin Mu and only calmed down when he saw the white car leaving. But he knew that his grandfather would not give up so easily. He would put in some effort somewhere. The Lu family was in a mess now. There were opportunities everywhere. He would be more careful to protect Little Pepper and her daughter. Even so, Lu Qianqian was not a toy to be bullied. She would fight back. Moreover, although she had no experience in managing a company, she had been training for a long time to be a successor. Not anyone could knock her down. There were some people who were good when you met them. For example, Mu Qiqi met Sheng Xiao, and there were some people you had to meet and experience the ups and downs of life together, holding each other's hands tightly. For example, Lu Qianqian met Lin Muan. When Grandpa Lin returned home, he immediately sent someone to contact the uncles of the Lu family to figure out what was at stake. He would lend a hand to the person who was most likely to be in power. But the condition was that that person must cooperate with him and drive Lu Qianqian and her daughter abroad, never to return. However, would his plan really succeed? Early that morning, Grandpa Sheng did not notice that someone was missing from his house. He thought that third brother was angry and did not come out for breakfast. But there was no movement for the whole day. It was not right. Then, he had someone pry open the door, only to find that third brother's window was open. But he was not inside. Master, third young master might have run away. Where else could he have gone? Look for Shang Xiao. It was fine that third brother had left on his own, but now he was abducting his other grandson and betraying the family. Chapter 450. It was the first time in half a year that old Sheng was so angry that he wanted to go to Sheng Xiao's house, because he believed that Sheng Xiao had instigated third brother to leave the family. He was aware of Sheng Xiao's goal, to have the Sheng family with her and have no family. Therefore, he brought along the butler and 4 bodyguards and went to the courtyard together. The house was heavily guarded because the Shun family had strengthened their sentries. Even so, the sentries could not stop the old man since he was not going to the Shun family this time. All they could do was make a call to someone in the house. Papa Sheng was drawing blueprints at home while third brother was causing trouble beside him. They had been chatting happily when Papa Sheng suddenly received the call and turned to third brother. Your grandfather is here. Third brother's face fell. Papa Sheng sighed at that and said quietly, I'll have the guards send him away if you don't want to see him. He's really angry that he could come here. The guard could stop him this time, but what about the next time? It's fine, eldest uncle. I'll go down. You won't let him eat if you go down? I'll call your eldest aunt and have the guards let him in. He wouldn't be too cruel to you with us around. Third brother said nothing. In fact, he knew very well that he should leave the country at once. Hiding here would only worsen the conflict between Sheng Xiao and the old man. Mama Sheng charged straight to the house when she heard that the old man was coming because of third brother. Where is he? He hasn't come in yet. Papa Sheng told her. I told you to come back quickly to see if you could put in a good word for third brother. What's there to talk about with that pervert? Mama Sheng snorted coldly. What was there to talk about with a man who would abandon his own son to burn down a house? He had no heart at all. Papa Sheng dragged her to sit down, while third brother sat on the sofa and clasped his fists. A moment later, old Master Sheng arrived downstairs. Papa Sheng went downstairs to greet him and led him to the living room. The old man found third brother there and stood at the door to the living room. "Come here." Papa Sheng did a double take, just as Mama Sheng stared at third brother, who could only rise from the sofa and walk to the old man. However, before he could say a word, old Master Sheng's slap landed on his face. It was a clean and decisive slap. The old man did not hold back at all. Mama Sheng was furious when she saw that. "Old thing, do you know that you're hitting your own grandson? I'm teaching my grandson a lesson. It's not up to outsiders to interrupt. You're not used to it? Who told you not to burn us both to death?" Mama Sheng walked up to them and pulled third brother behind her. "What? You can't burn your son to death, so you want to beat your grandson to death?" The old man took a deep breath and steadied his walking stick with both hands. "What evidence do you have that I started the fire? There's only a few of you. Why are you still pretending to be a big shot?" Mama Sheng's heart ached when she saw third brother's red and swollen face. Whose son was not precious? Eighth brother has been mistreated by you. If you're that capable, why don't you go to him and vent your anger on your other grandchildren? Are you admitting how much of a failure you are? Old Sheng did not want to say anything else to Mama Sheng, nor did he care about those who betrayed his family. He simply looked at third brother and asked, "Are you coming with me?" Third brother. Mama Sheng turned to look at him. Third brother took a deep breath and finally raised his head, answering the old man, "I'm coming with you." "Third brother, you have to stay here. Eldest aunt would definitely protect you. Not even eighth brother could help you if you go back to the Sheng family." "Eldest aunt, I want to solve my own problems on my own. I don't want to drag others down." Old Sheng laughed coldly. Third brother was tactful in the end. "Don't poke your nose into the Sheng family's business from now on. You should have some dignity. Don't ride on eighth brother's popularity. Wasn't the slap in the face 2 days ago painful enough?" Mama Sheng was not to be outdone. Old Sheng gestured for third brother to leave first, before turning to his son. "I really didn't expect that you would have some value alive. Of course I wouldn't have any value staying in a wretched place like the Sheng family. Look at fourth brother, eighth brother, and now look at me and my wife. It's the best proof." Mama Sheng crossed her arms and argued with Old Sheng. Of course, a man could never win against a woman in a battle of words. That was why Old Sheng could only bring third brother away. Still, it was impossible to humiliate Papa Sheng and Mama Sheng. Third brother walked in front while the old man followed behind. Once he got into the car, the two men pinned him inside. "I'll let you know the consequences of running away." Third brother said nothing. In that very moment, he felt like a criminal, even worse than the obedient machines in the Sheng family. After they left, Mama Sheng immediately called Sheng Xiao. "Your third brother was picked up by Grandpa Sheng himself. He slapped you 3 in front of us. I'm afraid it will only get worse when he goes back." "That's right, Grandpa Sheng. What do we do if he wants to leave?" Sheng Xiao had already guessed that the old man would have a hard time bringing third brother out of the house if he was unwilling. There's no telling what he's thinking. You should help him think of something. The old man is becoming more and more perverted by the day. Sheng Xiao hung up and tapped the table with his fingers. Third brother would probably suffer a lot when he got home. Still, no one could help him if he was not determined to leave the Sheng family. Third brother would certainly have his reservations. He did not have Sheng Xiao's wisdom and could not let his parents enjoy their old age. Moreover, whenever he remembered that Papa Sheng was almost burned to death for rebelling against the old man, he felt that he could not take the risk. If there was one way to save him now, it was marriage. Perhaps becoming a live-in son-in-law was not a bad idea. After third brother was escorted back to the Sheng family, he was locked in his room, and the windows of his room were completely sealed. It's time to arrange a marriage for you. Otherwise, you would never know where your heart should be used. Stay in your room for the next few days and reflect on yourself. Sheng Kai heard that third brother was locked in his room when he got home. He found it unbelievable that the old man would do something so extreme, and so went to third brother's room. Chapter 451. He doesn't let me work, doesn't let me go out, suspects me, and even wants to use me to steal eighth brother's secrets. Second brother, you're really lucky. I'm just a prisoner to that old man. Did you really not contact eighth brother? What kind of person is eighth brother? What do I have that eighth brother can use? Third brother defended himself. Then I'll go to grandfather and plead for you. No need. I just have to lie here and wait for my wedding. Third brother could not help giving up on himself because he had to plan for his parents. Grandfather's change started when eighth brother left the Sheng family. Don't you hate him? Sheng Kai asked third brother. Grandpa didn't start because someone left. His desire to control has always been strong. It's just that there are people in the family who are willing to be controlled, and there are people who aren't. Don't tell me that everyone wants to become his puppet. Second brother, eighth brother has nothing to do to you. It's just that you can't overcome the barrier in your heart. Sheng Xiao laughed helplessly and left third brother's room. Was he not willing to hate eighth brother even in such a situation? He was not that magnanimous. I've gone to see third brother. How is he? Gu Xiling asked after Shinkai returned to his room and helped him take off his coat. I've never seen grandfather so angry. Everyone in the Sheng family is grandfather's pawn. Only by being obedient can you live a peaceful life. It's the same for you. Now, the old man would not be afraid of her, just because she was a member of the Gu family. Gu Xiling sighed and replied to her husband, I think Grandpa was forced to do what he did today. I can understand him. On the other hand, Sheng Kai could not bear a child. If the old man knew about it, there was no telling if he would take back his position as the CEO of Huangyao. Sheng Kai was well aware of that. That was why he was actively seeking treatment and taking medicine. But no one knew about it. As for third brother, he lay on his bed, thinking about what his future wife would be like. Please don't be like Gu Xiling. Dinner at the Sheng residence. Sheng Kai took the opportunity to get information from Grandpa Sheng on behalf of third brother. Grandpa, have you found a marriage partner for third brother? There are no outstanding girls in Jianchuan now. Xiling has already married into our family, and the others who are of a suitable age already have a partner. In other words, there is no suitable candidate? I can consider the daughter of the Hu clan. Sheng Kai was stunned when he heard the Hu family. Is it the Hu family, the real estate tycoon? That's right. But I heard that his daughter has some problems with her brain. Old Sheng glared at Sheng Kai. You're short-sighted. There's nothing wrong with that child's brain. He's just naive. There's nothing wrong with him being a good match for third brother. Sheng Kai didn't say anything. He and Gu Xiling exchanged looks. They had never imagined that even though Grandpa Sheng was angry, he should not have pushed third brother into such a pit of fire. In fact, the old master's thinking was very simple. The Hu family only had one daughter. As long as the third son married Miss Hu, the Hu family's assets would belong to the third son sooner or later. What is wrong with that? He had worked so hard for the sake of his children, and yet he was despised? In fact, he would not admit that he was punishing third brother for challenging his absolute control. Moreover, there was another reason. He knew that third brother was very responsible. As long as he married the young lady of the Hu family, he would definitely stay with the Sheng family to the death, and would not be tempted by Sheng Xiao again. I really didn't expect grandfather to be so ruthless. Sheng Kai waited until he returned to his room to discuss the matter with Gu Xiling. Actually, the young lady of the Hu family isn't born stupid. She had a car accident 2 years ago, and her brain was damaged. She hasn't recovered even now. Even so, third brother wouldn't want a young lady of the Hu family with his qualities. Gu Xiling shook her head emotionally. That's not something we can decide. It's up to third brother. What was there to ask? Who would want to marry a fool? The old master's move was truly ruthless. Outsiders would think that he was a compassionate person who didn't care about the handicap of others, and that he would please the Hu family. Why would he care about the fate of his own people? It was the second night after Lu Qianqian lost her father. After class, Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao went to the Lu family's house again to visit Lu Qianqian and her mother. Although Lu Qianqian was very haggard, she was not distracted because Lin Muan was there to support her. Don't you have classes at the police academy? Mu Qiqi asked Lin Mu, and who was bustling about. I can switch with you if you can't come every day. Mother and daughter still need a man to support them. It's a sense of security that women can't give. Lin Muan answered Mu Chi-chi, looking at Lu Qianqian. It's fine. The competition was originally planned to last 4 days, but I'm giving up and applying for leave from the academy. I can only be at ease when my little pepper gets through her toughest time. The toughest time Lin Mu and was referring to was when Papa Lu was cremated and buried. Mu Chi-chi nodded and sighed. Qianqian's life is really rough. It's the same for everyone. You can be happy now because you suffered as a child, which is why life is fair. Look at how my little pepper is now. She must have had too much when she was young and didn't know how to cherish it, which is why the heavens are punishing her. Stay by her side. Thank you for the bodyguards, Crown Prince. They're the greatest help we could get. He remembered old Lin's visit yesterday. At least, he did not have to be afraid with these helpers. But I think the uncles of the Lu family would not be able to hold back. What do you plan to do? What can I do? I'm an outsider. Lin Muan smiled bitterly. Lu Holdings is my little pepper's safeguard. I'm afraid someone will want to take it over, and if my grandfather were to help them now, I don't even dare to imagine the consequences. Regarding this, Xiao Xiao will get someone to collect information in time. This is probably the only thing we can do for Qianqian. It's late. Go in and keep her company, Mu Chi-chi said, and went to Sheng Zhao's side. Lin Muan waved them off, but found Lu Qianqian asleep on the sofa with her father's photo when he entered the house. Unable to bear it, Lin Mu and carried Lu Qianqian to her room and put her on the bed. Lu Qianqian's face was still streaked with tears. Chapter 452. Lu Qianqian held Lin Muan's hand and slept soundly. But once he let go, Lu Qianqian would panic like a piece of driftwood in the sea. Helpless, Lin Muan sat by the bed and accompanied Lu Qianqian for the whole night. The next morning, Lin Muan walked out of Lu Qianqian's room and was caught by Mama Lu. Mama Lu looked a little surprised. You were in Qianqian's room last night? You. Auntie, you misunderstood. Qianqian cried the moment she fell asleep. That's why I accompanied her. Mama Lu was relieved because she believed in Lin Muan. The dark circles around the child's eyes were clearly caused by staying up late. This child loved Qianqian from the bottom of his heart. Then go and rest. All right, but Auntie, has the time for Uncle's cremation been decided? Mama Lu's eyes reddened as she replied, choking, it's the day after tomorrow. He's already gone, so there's no point in showing off anymore. It's not like he can see any of this. Uncle is in heaven. You will definitely bless you and your daughter. Mama Lu forced a smile and was about to reply when her phone rang. It was Papa Lu's phone. Mama Lu hung up without a second thought, but Lin Muan could not help reminding her, Auntie, there are some things that an outsider like me shouldn't say. That said, you and Qianqian are now a widow and a daughter without anyone to rely on. If anyone from Lu Holdings approaches you to discuss contracts or sign anything, you must be careful not to be tricked. It's Qianqian's youngest uncle. Big brother has just passed away, but he's been thinking about electing an acting chairman. In fact, Mama Lu knew very well in her heart. But what can I do? I don't know how to run a business. Qianqian is still young. Someone has to carry the burden of Lu Enterprises. Believe me, when Qianqian comes out of her grief, she will be able to stand on her own. Mama Lu wanted to compromise and give up the management rights so that Qianqian would not be persecuted by her uncles. If Qianqian insisted on inheriting her father's will, her future would be very bumpy, and she did not want her daughter to carry such a heavy burden. As parents who didn't plan for their children. But how could things be so simple? If they handed over the management rights, they would definitely be driven out of the country. Meanwhile, Mu Chi-chi received news from the professor that there had been significant progress in the case of the last red-dressed female corpse. The neighbor of the murdered girl was a major suspect. She was a 25-year-old married woman called Sinyan. Because her husband thought that she was not beautiful enough, he would always compare her with the little neighbor next door. This woman had wanted to kill the girl a long time ago. The last time she made up her mind was because she saw the murder of the woman in red in the mountains. That was why she wanted to imitate it. She was very smart. It could be seen from the fact that it was a copycat crime. That night at dinner, The girl's house received wave after wave of customers because she was doing business. As long as they were familiar with the town, they would come to her house for a meal or a drink. Sinyan also came to buy things and added something to the girl's water. When she came to shop, she told her acquaintances that she was going to pick up her son from school. Therefore, combining the time of the girl's death, Tsingyun seemed to have a perfect alibi. In fact, Tsingyun did not go out at all. After she saw the girl fall to the ground, she disguised herself and entered the girl's shop. After hiding the girl's corpse, she changed into the girl's clothes and closed the shop, making everyone believe that the girl had closed the door herself. Red clothes were a taboo for everyone in town. That was why she took out the red clothes for the girl to wear. Everyone was in a hurry on a rainy day. She left through the back door, carrying the girl's corpse on her back. Both she and the corpse were wearing large raincoats and men's shoes. Those who did not know would have thought that it was a man carrying his wife home. Since it was raining and no one paid attention, the woman went up the mountain alone and dumped the corpse. Concentrated sulfuric acid was a necessity. When the police saw it, it was dripping from the cave entrance, but it was actually a metal bottle embedded in the stone wall. It was hung upside down from the top of the mountain, and the bottle could be inserted into the cave entrance. Concentrated sulfuric acid did not corrode metal that badly, because it would passivate it. That was why the acid dripped directly onto the girl's face. Moreover, the cave entrance was littered with rubble. There was not a single complete footprint after the heavy rain washed it away. This level of crime was very serious for Tsingyun, who had only attended university for a few days. She was calm when the police questioned her. They also asked her son if his mother had brought him home that day. He quickly answered that it was his mother who brought him home every day. Yes, she did. But when did she do it? The smart woman did not even leave any fingerprints. If the police hadn't coincidentally overheard Tsingyun's husband asking if she had worn his shoes, the police wouldn't have suspected this woman. She did not panic at all when a girl in the prime of her life died in her hands. Even when she was arrested, she simply asked, "So many people died in this town. Why me alone? I did nothing wrong. Why do you have to arrest me?" That was the last case of the woman in red, but it had nothing to do with the previous two. Mu Chi felt many emotions after hearing about it, which was why she told Xing Xiao. Although I didn't solve those cases, I could imagine that the girl who died tragically could now rest in peace. When I see this, I sometimes think that what old Sheng did is nothing compared to taking the lives of others. No wonder the professor told me that the living are scarier than the dead. At those words, Sheng Xiao pulled the little one to him and held her in his arms. It's precisely because I came into contact with such things that I have to cherish the people around me. So, you still want to go to that wretched place? Sheng Xiao narrowed his eyes at the little one. Mu Chi shook her head. When she remembered how Lu Qianqian and third brother were now, she decided not to go anywhere. I don't have enough experience. That's why I have to focus on my studies. Moreover, Qianqian is so upset and third brother is locked up at home. I want to help them even more. Mu Chi said, hooking her arms around Sheng Xiao's neck. The Lin family has already contacted youngest uncle of the Lu family. What do you mean? Mu Chi asked, pushing herself up. Chapter 453. If that's the case, I believe that Qianqian and Lin Mu and would be able to solve it easily. Where does your confidence come from? Xing Xiao shook his head speechlessly. Can't you see? Lin Mu and is so determined towards Qianqian. As long as Lin Mu and is by her side, she would not lose her motivation. Put away your naive thoughts and do something practical for them. Sheng Xiao slapped Mu Chi on the head. Such as? If Lu Qianqian can't handle things on her own, no one can help her. She and her mother would have to give way, but we could increase her bargaining power when they talk about the deal. You are Mayor Shin's niece and the wife of Zhongting CEO. Not many people would dare to mess with you now. Promise me something or cause trouble, and I will deal with it for you. You're trying to teach me to do bad things again. Am I right? Mu Chi couldn't help rolling her eyes. This man was always instigating others to do bad things. Are you going to do it or not? Of course. As soon as she said that, Sheng Xiao picked her up and walked to the bedroom. What are you doing? Mu Chi cried out. I'm doing what you said. Mu Chi was speechless. Third brother had been locked up in a dark room for days. Even his meals were given to him by the butler. Third brother did not even step out of his room. He didn't really care now. He just wanted to know who he was going to marry. But strangely, old Sheng lifted the lock on third brother and allowed him to have dinner in the dining room. Third brother did not ask why. He only knew that he was very hungry and wanted to fill his stomach as soon as possible. He didn't need to know whose guests were there today. Sheng Kai looked at third brother worriedly. Third brother assumed that he was being locked up to attract their sympathy. He would never know that his father-in-law had come to meet his son-in-law. After dinner, when Shifu left, Sheng Kai told third brother the truth. Do you remember the people who had dinner with you tonight? I didn't. What does it have to do with me? The man with the golden glasses is a real estate tycoon. His daughter is 24 years old. Understood. Why didn't he bring his daughter? Is it because I'm too ugly, or is it something else? Third brother knew very well that he was engaged. This president whose daughter had her head damaged 2 years ago. Now, she only has the intelligence of an 11-year-old. Third brother didn't know whether to laugh or cry at that. It turns out that I don't even deserve a normal woman. Third bro. Sheng Kai looked worriedly at third brother, but did not know how to comfort him. Grandfather had really gone overboard this time. But who in the Sheng family would dare to say anything? I'll marry him. Shouldn't I be thanking the gods as long as I don't lose my limbs? Third brother laughed, though there were tears in his eyes. Although Sheng Kai could not bear it, he advised third brother, you can still find the girl you like after you get married. As long as it doesn't involve divorce, the old man won't ask. Since I'm married, I will fulfill my duty as a husband. Whether she's deaf or mute, I will take care of her until the end since she's my wife. With that, third brother returned to his room. It turned out that the price of a full meal was so high. Meanwhile, the Hu family was very satisfied with third brother. After returning home, President Hu kept praising third brother to his current wife and daughter, saying that he was handsome and talented. Xiao Ran would definitely not be mistreated if she marries him. Don't you think so, Xiao Ran? Hu Ran was sitting on the floor, playing with her princess doll. Although she was 24 years old, she really had the intelligence of an 11 or 12-year-old and completely did not understand what her father and stepmother were talking about. Sigh, you only know how to smile. I just hope that third young master won't bully Xiao Ran. That way, I won't disappoint her mother's spirit in heaven. Oh, you're thinking too much. Look at the young lady of the Gu family marrying him. She's living a happy and peaceful life. Isn't that great? Hu Ran's stepmother consoled her husband. The problem is that your daughter is a fool. Papa Hu said nothing else. It was obvious that he was very satisfied with the marriage. As for Hu Ran's stepmother, although she felt that Hu Ran was lucky, the Sheng family was a ruthless place. How could Hu Ran live a good life if she married them? Late at night, Hu Ran was sent back to her room by a servant and coaxed to sleep. It was only after the servant left that Hu Ran opened her eyes again. But her eyes were definitely not as innocent as they were in the living room just now. She promptly got up and went to the computer to search for information about third brother. She was quite satisfied with his appearance when she saw his picture on the computer. This was the husband she was about to marry. If third brother dared to bully her, she would play dumb forever so that he would never be able to lift his head again. On the other hand, if third brother was a good person, she would tell her husband that she was not really stupid and that she had to pretend to be like this to protect herself. After all, her stepmother was the one who plotted the car accident 2 years ago. If she did not play dumb, she would not have lived until now. As a matter of fact, third brother's situation was not much different from hers. Who knew? What if it was a marriage that sounded ridiculous to the outside world turned out to be a match made in heaven? Now, the two families were just short of making it public. After confirming the time for Papa Lu's cremation, the other members of the Lu family arrived at Lu Mansion, intending to discuss with Mama Lu about the arrangements for Lu Holdings. Mama Lu did not want Lu Qianqian to get involved in adult matters, and so had Lin Mu and accompany her upstairs to rest. Papa Lu had passed away without leaving a will. In other words, Mama Lu was now the biggest shareholder of Lu Holdings. The other members of the Liu family thought that she did not know how to run a company, and so suggested to find a client and elect an acting chairman. Mama Liu sat on the sofa and listened for a long time. Eventually, she said flatly, "My husband is still in the funeral parlor. He has not been buried, and I am not in the mood to talk about such things. Your brother is not in peace, and you don't have to rush to fight for power. Liu Holdings is here and not going anywhere. Eldest sister-in-law, we are just worried about Liu Holdings operations. Eldest brother's matter needs to be attended to, and the company needs to continue running. You are drowning in grief, and Qian is still young and naive. We hope that there is someone in this family who can share your burdens." How is this sharing? They're clearly here to force my mommy. Every single one of them is a respectable person. My father has just passed away, and they're already trying to get a piece of the pie. They are worse than animals. Lin Mu and held Liu Qian back and advised her, "They're not doing this for their own benefit. They want to protect you and your mother." Bleh! Who would protect me when I'm perfectly fine? Chapter 454. Liu Qian did not blush. Instead, she pinched Lin Mu's waist. "No need." Sure enough, he has regained his former vigor. While dodging, Lin Mu said to Liu Qian, "I know you. You may be dishonest, but your body is very honest. Bah, last night, you wouldn't sleep unless you held my hand. You were the one who acted shamelessly, weren't you?" Liu Qian was stunned for a moment. Then, she retorted, "I thought it was my father. Lin Mu, I didn't know you were so old." All right, I won't tease you anymore." Auntie is still surrounded by a bunch of people. Lin Mu quickly held Liu Qian's shoulders. In fact, it was not easy to see Liu Qian laughing now. He was afraid that she would think of her father again when she turned around. Downstairs, the uncles of the Liu family were still not giving up. "Elder sister-in-law, everyone is very sad about elder brother's death. We are also very worried about the future of you and your mother. However, there are a lot of things in the company that need to be dealt with urgently. You have to make a decision as soon as possible. The company has a vice president now. There won't be any problems for the time being. Once old Liu's funeral is over, Qian will return to the company and take over your big brother's position. I know you mean well, but even if Qian and I are orphans, it's not like the sky is falling, and we can't rely on you for our entire lives." The uncles were all shocked at Mama Liu's words. "Sister-in-law, are you joking with me?" Qian was only 19 now. How could she take on the responsibility of a chairman? The board of directors will not approve it either. Then, little brother, how old do you think Qian should be? Mama Liu asked Liu Qian's youngest uncle in return. "What you're doing is ruining Liu Holdings. Qian is just a silly little girl. I'm afraid she doesn't even know what the financial statements are. Regardless of whether you support or oppose it, Qian is your big brother's only successor. Even if it's not now, it will be handed over to her in the future. So, instead of doing this, it's better to nurture her earlier. With your support, your big brother will be at ease." Asking these brothers to support a little girl? Who would be willing? Still, Mama Liu did not have any hopes for these people. He was just looking for an excuse to calm him down. Sigh, Liu Corporation's many years of foundation is finally going to be destroyed in the hands of a mere woman. Liu Qian could not stand it any longer at that, and so walked out of the corridor to Mama Liu's side. "My father is not in the grave yet, and the company is operating normally. I don't know what the uncles here are planning to talk about the company when we are in pain. If you force him, then force him. Why do you have to make it sound so dignified? That's why I, Liu Qian, didn't see any of you in the morning hall on the day my father passed away. Why did I see all of you today? So you're here to seize power. If you have the ability, kill us mother and daughter. Otherwise, my father's shares will never fall into your hands. You don't know how to appreciate favors." Having been exposed, the few of them blushed and could only scold Mama Liu angrily before leaving in a huff. Mama Liu had certainly thought about giving up the management rights, but she could not bear to see the faces of her uncles. "They're back, and they're thinking of ways to make you give up on inheriting the chairman's position." Mommy, I've been very clear about my responsibilities ever since the matter with Duan Shaoan ended. That's why I'm not afraid of anything as long as we protect Dad's business together. Mama Lu reached out to caress Lu Qianqian's cheek and smiled in relief. I didn't dote on you for nothing. My daughter has finally grown up. Lin Mu and walked into the living room and saw mother and daughter hugging each other. He said nothing because it was unnecessary to say anything at that moment. It was only when it was time for dinner that Lin Mu and said to them, "Actually, Auntie, there's something you need to do right now despite your grief. Tell me, you and your daughter are weak in the company now, and certainly not a match for those uncles. That's why I suggest you seek protection. There must be subordinates loyal to your father in the company, as well as directors who dote on Qianqian. You must hold on to that rope so that Qianqian would have the confidence to speak at the board meeting. Don't wait for the company to fall into chaos before making plans. It'll be too late." Mama Lu nodded at that. "You're right. Old Lu's life's work is not something I can throw away before he's buried." And Lin Mu and leaned against Lu Qianqian. "You can also go to the Crown Prince. As the person in charge of Lu Holdings in the future, see if he has any ideas. You should know that even if the shares of you and your mother end up in the hands of the Crown Prince, it would be better than giving it to your uncles." Lu Qianqian nodded. Lin Muan was right. After Dad's matter is settled, I'll go to Zhongting to take a look. Mama Lu looked at Lin Mu and sincerely thought that he was a good child. Still, she felt sad when she remembered how the Lin family despised her Qianqian. Still, the matters of the young should be left to their own devices. They were good friends now, but who could predict what they would be in the future? You won't be held up by school, will you? In the end, Mama Lu was concerned about Lin Mu and studies. After all, it was not easy for him to return to the police academy, and he should not be reprimanded by the academy over this matter. It won't be. I'll go back to school after Uncle, eat more. Lu Qianqian could not help putting food in Lin Muan's bowl at that. You didn't feed me for nothing. You're so reliable in times of need. Still, how long could such simple happiness last? Everyone knew that Papa Lu had died so suddenly that he did not even have time to leave a word. That was precisely why Mama Lu was unquestionably the first heir to Papa Lu's assets, while Lu Qianqian was the second. However, the Lu brothers had suggested that they manage Lu Holdings so that mother and daughter could live comfortably, but the mother and daughter did not agree to it. How could a 19-year-old girl be the head of an entire company? What would Lu Holdings and its partners think if word got out? That was why the youngest uncle of the Lu family came up with an idea, who said that Papa Lu did not have a will. It was for the sake of his niece's healthy growth. Why would a girl get involved in the business world? Of course, the people from the Lin family had contacted him and said that they were willing to help, but the condition was that the mother and daughter had to get out of the country and never return to Jianchuan. He had not agreed at first, but now that he thought about it, overseas might be the best place for the mother and daughter. Chapter 455. News of the marriage between the Sheng family and the Hu family spread like wildfire, which naturally reached Sheng Zhao's ears. It was rumored that the third young master of the Sheng family would marry the foolish daughter of the Hu family. Sheng Zhao laughed coldly, but said nothing. It was foggy and damp outside when he returned home at night. Seeing that Mu Qiqi did not go to the Lu family's house, Sheng Zhao picked her up from the floor and asked, "Is the Lu family all right? Uncle Lu's body would be cremated tomorrow. Let's send him off then." Mu Qiqi told Sheng Zhao, "You're not allowed to sit on the floor. Isn't your butt cold enough?" Sheng Zhao put Mu Qiqi on the sofa and took off his cream-colored trench coat. Mu Qiqi smiled warmly and reached out to take his coat. "You must be feeling sorry for me. Third brother is going to marry the daughter of the Hu family." "The Hu family?" Mu Qiqi frowned. "Which Hu family?" "The one that deals in real estate. You know, I've only heard of it. That old man really knows how to find in-laws." Mu Qiqi put down his coat and snorted. "But you definitely don't know that Miss Hu is a fool. So, that old man is letting third brother jump in even though he knows it's a pit of fire?" Mu Qiqi's eyes widened in disbelief. How could he harm his own offspring like that? I know he's angry that third brother sneaked out, but it's really low of him to punish him for the rest of his life. Is third brother going to accept it just like that? Sheng Xiao said nothing, but Mu Qiqi knew what his silence meant after having been together for so long. Is there any room for negotiation? Sheng Xiao shook his head. Even if it's not Miss Hu today, it would be Miss Zhang or Miss Li tomorrow. Third brother knows that old man's character, and that's why he didn't resist. Mu Qiqi opened her mouth to say something, but realized that it would be useless even as the words reached her lips. But before that, I'll think a way to ask him one last time if he wants to run away. At that, Mu Qiqi went to his side and sat down, hugging his chest. If I'm not with you and anyone else in the Sheng family, they would be dead for sure. Since you know, why don't you hold on tighter? Marrying a fool that everyone knew, who in the circle wouldn't laugh at him. If it had been Shang Kai, he would have died of shame and anger over those rumors. But none of that mattered when it came to third brother, because he was magnanimous and didn't care about what others thought of him. After dinner, third brother remained locked in his room until old Sheng appeared outside his door, leaning on his walking stick. Third brother, what can I do for you? Lying on the bed, third brother appeared nonchalant. Get ready to get married. Whatever. Just set a date and let me know. 2 days later, I'll go meet the young lady of the Hu clan. After all, we're going to be husband and wife. I can't just get married without seeing her. In any case, this was it. What else was there to see? Sure, old Sheng could not help but suspect that third brother was suddenly terrifyingly obedient. Was the kid plotting something again? Or was he planning to break through the ceiling and escape again? Don't learn from eighth brother, third brother. I wouldn't let myself lose any of you even if I have to risk my life. If you're done, get out. Don't be annoying. Third brother was not in the mood to listen to his thoughts, and there was no need for him to keep emphasizing that Sheng Xiao had provoked him. Sighing, old Sheng left third brother's room. All he thought was that third brother was stubborn, but the truth was that he didn't know the meaning of despair. On the next day, Papa Lu's body was cremated. Everyone from the Lu family was there to send Papa Lu off one last time, and whether they were sincere or not, Mama Lu bowed to them. Meanwhile, Lu Qianqian promptly fell into Lin Mu En's arms, crying. Watching the person closest to her turn into ashes in the blink of an eye, Lu Qianqian understood the pain of wanting to keep him, but being helpless. Father, rest in peace. After her father's body was carried away, Lu Qianqian crouched on the ground and cried bitterly. Lin Muan quickly picked her up and put her on a chair. Don't cry in a hurry. Close your eyes and feel it. Uncle is definitely not gone. He's right beside you. Forcing herself to calm down, Lu Qianqian closed her eyes as Lin Muan told her. She could feel that her father was still beside her and could still pat her head. That feeling was so much happier. After a while, Lu Qianqian could not bear to open her eyes. Lin Muan held her in his arms and held her head. You have 40 minutes to say goodbye to me. From now on, I don't have a father anymore. Lu Qianqian opened her eyes, choosing to accept the truth. Scumbag, you and Mommy, don't leave me. Don't ever leave me. I won't. I won't leave you for the rest of my life. Meanwhile, Mama Lu was accompanied by other family members. Still, when the Lu family saw Lu Qianqian and Lin Mu and hugging each other, they assumed that they were a couple. It's embarrassing enough that there's that Duan guy, and now they're hugging each other even though father has just died. You don't know how much the Lin family hates the Lu family for abducting their grandson. Lin Mu uncovered Lu Qianqian's ears when he heard those words. In that very moment, she was immersed in the pain of losing her father and was completely unaware of what the others around her were saying. Mama Lu heard them and went to them, saying, Muan, take Qianqian outside for a breather. I'll wait here. I'm fine, Annie. He could bear many things with Lu Qianqian. So what if he was talked about? Gossip was a fearful thing, but no one could hurt you if you did not mind it. Meanwhile, the youngest uncle of the Lu family smirked coldly as he watched from corner. He had agreed to the Lin family's conditions. Lin Mu and could still keep Lu Qianqian company. Well, in a few days, when a lawyer announced the distribution of the inheritance, Lin Mu, and would know how useless he was. He would not be able to help Lu Qianqian at all. It took a long time for the body to be cremated, but it felt like a trance. In the end, Mama Lu hugged the small urn of ashes as if hugging her husband. Soon, the group headed to the cemetery. When the time came, Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi would be there to see Papa Lu off. The outside world was waiting to see the Lu family make a fool of themselves. Now that they were a widow and an orphan, there was no telling how many people would have designs on them. Chapter 456. When Papa Lu was buried, both Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi dressed in black to offer their condolences. Lu Qianqian and Mama Lu's eyes were swollen from crying. Even so, they had to accept the fact that their father and husband were gone. Mama Lu held the tombstone and wept bitterly, while Lu Qianqian knelt in front of it. The person closest to him was gone just like that. Qianqian, get up. Beside her, Lin Muin tried to help her up, but Lu Qianqian was hugging Papa Lu's tombstone, refusing to let go no matter what. Qianqian, thank you, everyone, for coming to send my late husband off on his last journey. Qianqian, and I will always remember this. Mama Lu returned to her senses and turned to bow to her family. On the other hand, youngest Uncle Lu walked up to Mama Lu and told her, sister-in-law, you should have made up your mind earlier if you really want Big Brother's good. We're still in front of my father's grave. Don't you know how to restrain yourself? Lu Qianqian turned her head and glared at him with tears in her eyes. The Lu family's youngest uncle smiled and said to the other brothers, let's leave first. Let the mother and daughter stay here and cry their hearts out. In any case, the real show was in 2 days. What was the rush now? Sheng Xiao stood in the wind, holding Mu Qiqi. His gaze swept across the Lu family, but he said nothing. Mu Qiqi saw that his gaze was a little strange, so she tugged at his clothes. Why are you staring at that group of people? I'll tell you later. Mu Qiqi was puzzled, but she did not ask. She walked to Lu Qianqian and helped her up with Lin Muin. If your father saw you torturing yourself like this, he would definitely be sad. Qiqi. Lu Qianqian turned around and hugged Mu Qiqi tightly. I don't have a father anymore. You still have your mother and us. Right now, the uncles of the Lu family are eyeing you covetously. You have to pull yourself together. In 2 days, the lawyer will come to the house to announce the inheritance of your father's property. At that time, there will be a big show to watch. Don't worry now. Mama Lu turned to look at her husband and held Lu Qianqian's hand. Cheer up. Let's go home. Let's go. We'll accompany you home. Mu Qiqi accompanied Lu Qianqian and Mama Lu while Lin Mu and Sheng Xiao walked behind the 3 women. Lin Mu could not understand his expression and simply felt that the man had become even more unfathomable after not seeing him for a long time. Crown Prince, I'm no longer a member of Huang Yao. You can call me something else. Sheng Xiao's gaze was sharp, and the side of his face was as sharp as a knife. Chief Sheng, Qianqian and her mother need protection. But I know that you're the only one who can do that in Jianchuan. I'm useless and can't protect them. Instead, I brought them danger and trouble. That's why I'm begging you to help. As long as you help, I'll do anything to repay your kindness. Even murder and arson? Sure, Lin Mu said without hesitation. You're still useless to me right now. If you want to become valuable, you'll have to work hard. Bowing down to Lu Qianqian was his greatest value. Even if Lin Mu did not ask, Lu Qianqian and her mother were protected by Zhongting, because Lu Qianqian was Mu Qiqi's only bosom friend. Leaving aside the business ties between the 2 families, it was more than enough to protect Lu Qianqian until she became the CEO. Ever since Papa Lu's accident, the most important person now was his secretary, who knew all his secrets. That was why he had sent someone to keep an eye on them early on, just to see who would come to Papa Lu's lawyer. But he did not expect that those brothers were not easy to deal with either. Since they all wanted to benefit themselves, it would be dramatic when the time came. Mu Qiqi stayed with Lu Qianqian until night. When she saw Lin Mu and helping Mama Lu prepare dinner in the kitchen, she whispered to her, I heard from Xiao Xiao in the afternoon that Lin Mu had begged him to help you and was willing to commit murder and arson as a condition. As long as Xiao Xiao is willing to help you, he would do anything for you. He's poor now, but he's willing to give up everything for you. Qianqian, everything Lin Mu and has changed for you. Don't you see? Lu Qianqian watched Lin Mu and bustling about in the kitchen after hearing that, and could not help calling him a fool. I didn't ask him to do that for me. It's precisely because he's doing it willingly that he's so precious. He's going back to school tomorrow. Don't you have to show your gratitude? We're each other's most precious family. Ask yourself honestly, do you treat him like a family member? Mu Qiqi reached out to grab Lu Qianqian's hand and pressed it over her heart. Everyone can see it. Only you two still treat each other like brothers. Lu Qianqian said nothing, but looked seriously at Lin Mu and, who was wearing an apron. Did you hear me? I'm going home too. Xiao Xiao said that there's a surprise in the afternoon, and I'm waiting to go home and open a big present. Lu Qianqian nodded, intending to have her stay for dinner. But Mu Qiqi insisted on going home, because Su Che's car was already parked outside the Lu's house for some time. Lu Qianqian did not try to persuade her to stay, and quietly had dinner with Mama Lu and Lin Muin. Although Papa Lu was not in the house, Mama Lu still prepared cutlery for her husband. I'm going back to the police academy tomorrow morning, and I won't be able to keep up with your news in school. I don't have any extravagant requests, but I just hope that you can tell me first if you have any difficulties or anything, and treat me as a real family. At Lin Muin's words, Mama Lu grabbed his hand and said, "You're half a son to me, and we'll never abandon you." Thank you, Mom. What are you calling me? Lu Qianqian promptly clenched her fist. Why can't I call her Mom when her mother treats me as her son? You miser. She's my mother. Go talk to your mother. Lu Qianqian was annoyed. Stop fooling around, you two. Hurry up and eat. It won't taste good when it's cold. The two glared at each other and pinched each other's cheeks, with Mama Lu laughing happily in a corner, thinking that it was much livelier with a boy around. Late at night, Lu Qianqian went downstairs to the guest room to thank Lin Muin, but she quickly turned when she saw him coming out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped around his body. That Chili actually had her moments of embarrassment, which was why he deliberately said, "I'm already dressed." Lu Qianqian turned, but Lin Muin stepped on the towel that had slipped off, and Lu Qianqian saw his bare buttocks. Chapter 457. Well, Little Pepper, you misunderstood. Lu Qianqian did not wait for him to explain and simply walked out of the guest room, while Lin Muin quickly put on his clothes and explained without even tidying his hair. I didn't mean it just now. I was just teasing you. Moreover, I'm the one at a disadvantage. Why are you angry? I'm angry. You're a man, but why is your butt perkier than a woman's? You don't understand. There's no perkier, but if you don't squat. Naturally, they sat down on the sofa in the living room and took out some wine, each of them having a glass, just like when they celebrated Qianqian's birthday at the hotel. Lin Muin, study hard and improve every day when you go back to school tomorrow. Lin Muin put down his glass and held Lu Qianqian's hand with a serious look on his face. Promise me that you'll rely on me no matter what happens, okay? Although I'm not like the crown prince who can pluck the moon from the sky for Shao Qi, I'll do my best to fulfill all your wishes. You're so poor. Lu Qianqian laughed and hugged Lin Muin. Don't run away from school like you did this time. I hope that you'll be safe and happy in school. Don't drink anymore, silly. Lin Muin was going back to school tomorrow and could not reek of alcohol, which was why he watched as Lu Qianqian got himself drunk. Mama Lu took a deep breath as she watched them from upstairs. She really liked Mu and was willing to love him like a son, as long as he could keep giving everything to Qianqian like this. Meanwhile, in another courtyard, when Mu Qiqi got home, she kept pestering Sheng Xiao to tell her what he saw at the funeral. Sheng Xiao told Mu Qiqi even as he took off his clothes. Those uncles of the Lu family all went to Lu Qianqian's father's lawyer. It's clear that Lu Qianqian's father left in a hurry and left nothing behind, and all his assets are being distributed by the lawyer according to the law. And with those people scrambling to find a lawyer, we can't rule out the possibility that they forged a will. You've already sent someone to keep an eye on them. Muqiqi was surprised by Sheng Zhao's efficiency. Sheng Xiao smiled teasingly at the little thing, then picked her up and threw her into the bathtub. Once something happens, you have to find the contradiction in this matter. The magic weapon to not give the enemy a chance to live is that you can think calmly. There was no telling what Sheng Zhao's brain was made of. Before you realize it, he has already discovered the problem. By the time you discover the problem, he will have already deployed it hundreds of years ago. There really was a gap between people. Whose side is the lawyer on? Lu Qianqian's father had hired him for so many years because he trusted in his character. Sheng Xiao replied, but there are exceptions to everything. Moreover, Lu Qianqian's father is no longer around. If the lawyer helped forge the will, it would be a good show. Muqiqi looked at Sheng Xiao, knowing that the evil water in his heart was beginning to overflow again. So, she hooked her arms around his neck and rubbed herself against him coquettishly. I know you're putting so much effort into the Lu family's matter because you care about me. Why else would the great CEO of Zhongting spend so much time poking his nose into other people's business? Amidst the thick mist, Sheng Xiao lifted Muqiqi's chin and told her seriously, if not for you, I wouldn't care about anyone else's life. The next day, Lin Mu and left the Lu family at 8 in the morning. Lu Qianqian was still sleeping soundly when he left, perhaps because of the alcohol. Lin Mu and shook his head helplessly and covered her with a blanket from the room. Then, he turned and left reluctantly, although he was not confident that Lu Qianqian will be the first to tell him the next time something happened to her. Mama Lu made breakfast for Lin Mu and saw him out of the house. Still, when she saw Lin Mu and's figure leaving, she was about to turn back home when she suddenly heard someone honking a car horn from the other side of the house. Mama Lu glanced at the person inside the car and realized that she did not recognize him. That was when old Lin stepped out of the white car and came to Mama Lu. I'm Lin Mu and's grandfather. Mama Lu's confidence faltered. She knew that the Lin family did not like the Lu family, and yet she kept Lin Mu and busy for the Lu family. Greetings. Will you mind if I sit in the garden? Clearly, Grandpa Lin had seen Lin Mu and leave before appearing in front of Mama Lu. He had calculated the time. Mama Lu could not refuse, so she invited old Lin to her courtyard. What would you like to drink? There's no need. I'll leave after a few words. I know that the uncles of the Lu family are eyeing you and your daughter covetously, trying to snatch your shares and inheritance rights. I can help you stabilize your position in Lu Holdings, but Mama Lu guessed that the old man must have a condition for bringing that up. But your daughter must completely cut off all contact with my grandson. He is the only grandson of the Lin family, and now, instead of being a young master, he has become a cop and learned how to fight. As a grandfather, I can't stand it. If I help you stabilize Lu Holdings and you help me get my grandson back to the Lin family, would you agree to this deal? Mama Lu was already prepared for old Lin to say something like that, but, Old Mister, I thank you for your intention to help me and my daughter, but I don't think we need it. I don't quite understand. I just want my grandson back, and the Lu family would get what they want. Why can't you agree to such a simple deal? Old Lin questioned Mama Lu. Or is it that the Lu family is still trying to use the marriage with the Lin family? I just don't want to go against my daughter's wishes and do anything she doesn't want to do. Mama Lu answered old Master Lin sincerely. You can help me or make things difficult for me, but I won't make a decision for my daughter because she's also an independent person. This is the dignity I'm giving her. You should know that by rejecting me today, you might be rejecting your only chance to win. Old Lin did not say much to Mama Lu and rose from his chair. The Lin family will never marry a second-hand good into our family. The Lin family is pure and clean, and we don't want any stain. Mama Lu was a little angry when she heard that. After all, everyone was protective of their children. It seems that Elder Lin is not as open-minded as the young Muin. It's easy for one to develop the habit of being the best in the world at his age. I only hope that Elder Lin will not have any regrets in this life. Please leave. Chapter 458. Sheng Xiao had said that he would think of a way to find out if third brother was running away from the marriage, and if he did, he would get his parents out of the Sheng family as well. However, third brother promptly refused. You set a precedent for leaving the Sheng family. The old man hates the betrayal of the Sheng family, and while I could hide from him, my parents might not want to change their lifestyle. That's why I'm not taking the risk. There's nothing wrong with marrying a fool, and life might become easier from now on. Third brother. Mu Chi called out to third brother over the phone. It's a matter of a lifetime. Think about it carefully. Actually, think about it. Isn't Miss Hu innocent as well? She's jumping into a pit as big as the Sheng family. Forget it, Sheng Xiao simply said. I've worried about you for nothing. Third brother laughed calmly over the phone. The people outside can laugh at me for marrying a fool, but the two of you would never bully my little wife. Is yours as little as mine? Sheng Xiao retorted. Mu Chi promptly punched Sheng Xiao's chest. Couldn't this man say something nice about her? Either way, third brother refused to run away from the marriage. Although Mu Chi found it a pity, everyone had their own choices. Maybe things aren't as bad as we think. After all, Miss Hu isn't born a fool, and she might be cured later on. Mu Chi still held on to her beautiful wishes. That was what Sheng Xiao found most rare about Mu Chi. Even after seeing every ugliness in the world, she still maintained the purity in her heart. There was no telling if her optimism came from Shan Jianchuan. Still, one had to admit that the heavens favored optimistic people. 2 days later, Old Sheng arranged for third brother to meet with Miss Hu. Due to Hu Ran's uniqueness, maids were required to accompany her whenever she left the house. But it was different this time. The Hu family wanted to see if third brother could accept and take care of Hu Ran, and hence had the maids escort Hu Ran to the door later. Afraid that third brother would run away, the old man was not at ease leaving him alone. That was why he had the butler accompany him and bring Miss Hu to the Sheng family as a guest. That way, the Sheng family could get to know her as soon as possible. Third brother had no objections and got the butler to drive the car, and the two of them arrived at the entrance of the Hu family's house. A moment later, the people of the Hu clan walked out from the iron gate. The servant led the innocent-looking Hu Ran to the window and greeted third brother respectfully. Third young master, please take care of our young mistress. She doesn't have any taboos, and she would express herself if she doesn't like it. After all, no matter how weak he was, he still had the intelligence of an 11-year-old, not a few years old. Third brother nodded and got out of the car himself, escorting his future wife to the car. Actually, Hu Ran was very delicate. Her small face was very exquisite. Although her brain wasn't good, the Hu family had taken good care of her. There wasn't much problem with her dressing. Miss, can you play with this little brother today? Xiao is very busy today and may not be able to accompany Miss to make a dress for the princess. Hu Ran turned and saw third brother. She blinked and nodded. Well, does little brother know how to make dresses? I don't, but I could learn from you. Third brother quickly replied. Hu Ran thought about it and agreed. All right, but Xiao, you can't be busy for too long. Let's go, butler. Third brother instructed. Although Miss Hu was a child, it was clear that she wasn't cunning or willful. If that was all there was to it, third brother believed that he could completely accept such a wife. The butler watched them from the rearview mirror. To tell the truth, he felt that it was a pity for third brother. Over the last 2 days, news of the marriage alliance between the Sheng family and the Hu family had spread like wildfire. Everyone was mocking third brother for having to wait upon a foolish young mistress. He should have had a beautiful life, but because he displeased the old man, his entire life was thrown away. Young master, why don't you apologize to old master when you go home? This marriage is really Shu. Third brother said flatly. Let's talk in private. Miss Hu didn't do anything wrong. The butler sighed and nodded. Are you talking about me, little brother? Hu Ran looked at third brother and asked innocently. Right now, she was holding her favorite toy in her hand. What materials do you need to make a dress? I don't know either. Why don't you tell me and let's go buy it first? Third brother diverted Hu Ran's attention. He only wanted to treat Hu Ran as a patient, not a fool. That was why he did not want to talk to Hu Ran like an adult. He wanted to treat her as an equal. Otherwise, he would feel even worse if they built an unequal relationship right from the start. All right, I'll bring you there. Huran's attention was indeed diverted. What other games do you like to play aside from making clothes for princesses? Xiaoran. Comics. Huran quickly raised her hand and answered. And crafts. Just as expected, those were things that little girls liked. Third brother nodded and told the butler, go and look for those places. Then, buy some beautiful comics and some finished products. Sigh. The butler sighed. Got it. Forget it. I'll pick them myself when we get there. Huran's attention was not on third brother at all, and she deliberately pretended not to be paying attention to their conversation. Even so, Huran was quite satisfied with third brother's impression of him. At the very least, he was not aloof or arrogant and did not humiliate her on sight. That was rare enough. Still, third brother might have been putting on an act since it was their first meeting. That was why she would have to put on a good show when they reached the Sheng family to test a man's true nature and whether he was good or bad. After all, it was difficult to hide a person's deep-rooted bad habits under unexpected circumstances. Soon, they arrived at the Sheng family's residence. Although the Sheng family appeared to welcome Miss who was about to arrive, they were secretly thinking that she was just a fool. Was there a need for such a grand welcome? Still, with old Sheng around, no one dared to say a word. When they got out of the car and saw so many people in the Sheng family, they hid behind third brother by reflex. Why are there so many people, little brother? Don't worry, we won't meet them. Third brother promptly led them to the Sheng family's golf course. Huran was delighted at the sight of the endless grassland and simply sat on the ground, taking out the comics third brother had bought for her. Little brother, can I read some comics here for a while? Of course. Just tell me right away if you're cold. Chapter 459. Second sister-in-law. Look at Miss Hu's silly face. Sixth brother whispered from behind. She really feels sorry for third brother. Gu Xiling looked at Huran. She did not expect the daughter of the Hu family to be so silly. She was in her early 20s, and yet she still liked little girls' toys. It was likely that third brother's duty from now on would be to take care of the little girl. Third brother said nothing, and simply walked up to the old man. Miss Hu is afraid of strangers, so you don't have to wait here. Just do what you have to do. The old man gave him a meaningful look and asked, Are you sure you can take care of a girl like that? Whether I'm willing or not, I don't seem to have a say in this matter. If that's the case, you shouldn't talk about such nonsense in the future, grandfather, or I might think you're rubbing salt on someone else's wound. Since you're getting along well with Miss Hu, take good care of her. Ask the butler if you need anything. Third brother nodded coolly. I'll set you free when you're married. You know what I'm afraid of, third brother. Eighth brother has already called me, so the things you worry about won't happen. With that, third brother had the butler prepare beautiful desserts and blankets. Soon, he returned to Huran's side. Third brother felt strangely relaxed when he saw the girl laughing heartily at her manga. Actually, wasn't it a blessing to have such a wife? At least he did not have to be cautious or scheme against her. Although it was a little troublesome to take care of her, he did not feel tired. Why are you laughing, little brother? Well, tell me, Xiaoran, am I more handsome or the little brother in the manga? Third brother asked, who ran leisurely. You. Third brother smiled again at that. After all, how could he not be overjoyed after being praised? After reading manga on the grass for a while, Huran began making clothes for the princess. Third brother watched as she skillfully cut and drew, and suddenly understood the joy those little things brought to Huran. Nearby, Gu Xiling smiled meaningfully. It seemed that her position in the Sheng family would not be shaken by any other daughter-in-law for the time being. With Huran's intellect, she would probably be toyed to death. Soon, it was lunchtime for the Sheng family. The butler invited the two who were lying on the grass to the dining room. Third brother put down the handmade dress and asked Huran, Xiaoran, are you hungry? Suddenly, she pouted and nodded. I'm hungry. Then, let's go eat first, and then come back, okay? No, Daddy said that we must finish what we started. I want to finish first. Little big brother, you go eat first. Then, I'll help you take them out to eat. Okay? No, Daddy said that we have to eat in the dining room. Little brother, go ahead first. Xiao Ran will be there soon. However, the Sheng family could not simply pick up their chopsticks before Hu Ran arrived at the dining table. That was why third brother stayed outside with Hu Ran. At her pace, it would take an hour for her to finish the dress. Then, Gu Xiling came out to urge the two of them. Third brother, it's time to eat. You guys eat. Leave it for us. Third brother said directly. The whole family is waiting for you. You should be considerate of your family. Moreover, you shouldn't accommodate Miss Hu in her current situation. Children are easy to coax, and I'll do it if you can't. At Gu Xiling's words, third brother rose from the grass and gestured for Gu Xiling to give a try. Gu Xiling shook her head and crouched in front of Hu Ran. Miss Hu, the dining room has prepared a lot of good food for you. Shall we go in and eat first? I don't want to. She suddenly refused decisively. I'll cook with you after you're done. I told you I don't want to. Hu Ran's voice suddenly became louder. You're so annoying. Go away. I don't want to see you. At those words, Hu Ran suddenly turned with a needle, startling Gu Xiling. Gu Xiling promptly stood up, only to be pushed back onto the ground. You really have a screw loose. Third brother promptly crouched down at that and helped Hu Ran up while warning Gu Xiling, second sister-in-law. Mind your words. Third brother, there's no one else here. There's something wrong with Miss Hu's head, so you don't have to act. Tell me honestly, do you want to reject this marriage? I just want to say that Xiao Ran meant no harm just now. She didn't want to poke you with a needle, so you don't have to use so much strength. Third brother, are you really going to let this go? Third brother did not answer, but Hu Ran suddenly burst into tears. Her cries startled everyone in the Sheng family, especially Grandpa Sheng. At that, Gu Xiling quickly told third brother, don't talk nonsense to grandfather. What happened? The old man promptly asked third brother, did you bully Miss Hu? It's not little brother. That woman pushed me. Hu Ran yelled at the old man, pointing at Gu Xiling. It's not that, grandfather. Miss Hu tried to poke me with a needle just now, but I only came to ask them to eat. I meant no harm, and it was a natural reaction. I didn't do it on purpose. I just hope that second sister-in-law would speak with propriety in the future and not do anything that would tarnish your status. With those words, third brother helped Hu Ran up and said softly, come inside with little brother and wash your face, all right? You'll look like a clown if you keep crying. Okay, Hu Ran nodded. It was only after the two had left that the old man told Gu Xiling, Miss Hu is certainly lacking in the head, but you shouldn't have been so obvious. Wouldn't the Sheng family be shamed if she told Mom and Dad about it? Grandfather, I really didn't do it on purpose. Be careful next time. Why would I hold a grudge against a retard? Gu Xiling said, forcing herself to swallow the word retard. The old man turned to glare at her, instructing her carefully. When Miss Hu marries into the Sheng family, you have to set a good example as second sister-in-law and take good care of her. Yes, grandfather. In truth, Gu Xiling was implying that she should take care of a retard, maybe in her next life. Back in the room, third brother was helping Hu Ran wipe her face, while Hu Ran asked him curiously, little brother, that big sister is so fierce. Does she bully you often? So, Xiao Ran, are you trying to avenge brother? Third brother asked. Yes. Hu Ran nodded firmly. No need. Just stay away from her when you see her next time. That way you won't get hurt, got it? Third brother instructed her seriously. What if big sister bullies you? She wouldn't dare. Hu Ran suddenly laughed foolishly, although she was sneering inwardly. Gu Xiling was clearly no pushover, but it was fortunate that her future husband did not seem to like second sister-in-law. Chapter 460. For Xiao Ran's safety, don't bother that big sister when we get out, all right? But what if she does? Hu Ran asked innocently. Then tell me. I'll protect you. Hu Ran clapped and cheered his words. You're a good man, big brother. It was not that he wanted to be a good man, but he had no other choice. Well, how about Xiao Ran marry big brother and be his wife? Wife? Does that mean wife, Mom? Third brother put down the towel and put his hands on either side of Hu Ran's body. Actually, there's nothing good about marrying me. I don't have much say in this family, and you might be bullied by second sister-in-law in a place where I can't see. Hit her back, big brother. Hit whoever bullies you. Third brother chuckled and carried Hu Ran down from the sink. It was clearly their first meeting, but he was very patient with her. In fact, it was just like how a brother would treat his sister. All right, let's go out for dinner. Hu Ran nodded and took third brother's hand on her own like a child seeking safety. Third brother held her slender right hand, feeling that it was cold and did not have any body temperature. When they returned to the Sheng family's dining room, the Sheng family were all sitting upright. Xiao Ran, come and eat, said Grandpa Sheng kindly. Hu Ran looked at Gu Xiling warily and threw a childish tantrum, pointing at Gu Xiling and telling everyone, she pushed me just now. I don't want to see her. Old Sheng turned to Gu Xiling, who could only rise from her chair. You guys eat, then. In fact, Gu Xiling's lungs were about to explode in anger where no one else could see. Old Sheng was actually making her disappear from the dining table because of that retard. After all, she had been treated the same way before she married into the Sheng family. Why did everything change now that she was a Sheng? Still, there was plenty of time. Since Miss Hu's brain was not working, she would have the chance to take revenge in the future. After lunch, third brother brought Hu Ran back to the grass, and the two sat on the ground to finish the rest of the dress. Hu Ran had a great day, but was naturally very tired. When third brother sent Hu Ran home, it was already 8 o'clock at night. Hu Ran slept in the car, her head resting on third brother's shoulder. In fact, the girl was quite simple. All her stubbornness was directed at those who treated her badly. In no time, the two arrived at the Hu family's doorstep, and Chief Hu sent someone to receive them. Little brother, when are we going to play again? Third brother waved her off and had the chauffeur drive. Miss, did the little brother bully you today? Shio asked after Hu Ran returned home. Hu Ran shook her head. Little brother always plays with me. He treats me even better than Dad. Ran, and only then did he send her home. Shio, go out. I'm going to take a bath. After entering the bathroom, Hu Ran no longer needed anyone to accompany her, so she sent Shio out. It was only when the door to her room was closed that she relaxed and lay down in the bathtub. It seemed that her fiancé was very reluctant about the marriage and simply had his life interfered with by his elders. Of course, most people would think a man useless if he could not make his own decisions. Even so, Hu Ran was aware of the Sheng family situation. The crown prince, Sheng Xiao, had spent a lot of effort to free himself from the Sheng family. That was why the common folk could only resign themselves to fate. Moreover, the third young master of the Sheng family did not speak ill of her even if he was reluctant. Even when no one was around, he did not humiliate her and was considered a gentleman. That was why she was a little less worried about the marriage. At the very least, she had to escape from the dragon's pool to stay alive. She was wary of the second sister-in-law of the Sheng family and her vicious stepmother, but she was not afraid of a rich young lady like Gu Xiling. Was there anything more chilling than a stepmother trying to kill you over and over again? I can only say, third young master, please take care of me in the future. The fact that Hu Ran was determined to play dumb proved how cruel she was to herself. Still, the advantage of that was that she stopped her father from obeying her stepmother in everything. As long as her stepmother wanted something, Hu Ran would cry and throw a tantrum, and her father would be afraid. Soon, third brother returned to the Sheng residence and was greeted by Gu Xiling, who had a sour look on her face. I'm afraid the Sheng family would only get more lively in the future. They would marry a fool and build a children's playground. Third brother was very tired and did not intend to talk to Gu Xiling. However, Gu Xiling blocked his way. Third brother, I really didn't know that you have such tender feelings for the fairer sex. You're a dignified daughter of a wealthy family. Why are you humiliating someone who's been injured? Gu Xiling hugged herself and answered third brother, because I hate being around retarded people. Then you should go to grandfather. With that, third brother walked past Gu Xiling and returned to his room. However, Muchichi's phone call came just as he laid down on his bed. How is it? Third brother. Did you see Miss Who today? Yes. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. Third brother replied. I've never tried it before, and there might be a lot of things to worry about living with someone like that. Is it because Miss Who is being stubborn, the family who chose her, and then called her retarded and insulted her with all their words? Muchichi really did not understand. Was the old man in charge of fishing? Was he going to ignore the fish when they came ashore? Do you regret it now? Third brother thought about Who Ran's face. It was not that bad, but she would definitely be humiliated by the Sheng family when she married into the Sheng family. I feel guilty. Let's just take it one step at a time. Actually, third brother, I have a feeling that Miss Who's head would recover. Third brother laughed at that. Whatever. He would take good care of Who Ran when she was here and live his own life when she was not. With that thought, he felt much more at ease. When Sheng Kai returned home that night, he found his wife in his room and asked her, Did you see Miss Who? I did. She's really scary. I wonder why grandfather is torturing third brother. Are you sure she's retarded? Chapter 461. Since he was going to marry third brother, he would have to thoroughly investigate all 18 generations of the Who family's ancestors. Miss Who's accident happened 2 years ago. Before that, she was just a little frail, but she was exceptionally intelligent, excelling in her studies and graduating with a degree in journalism, winning many awards. A girl like her would definitely match third brother's status if she was sane. As for Who Ran's stepmother, she had married into the Who family 4 years ago. She was a singer who had been in the entertainment industry for years and finally married a real estate tycoon. That was her wish, and she would have someone to rely on for the rest of her life. Who Ran's stepmother was in her 30s, and logically speaking, marrying into a rich family at that age would mean giving birth to a child and ensuring her own status. However, Who Ran's stepmother had not done anything over the last 4 years. The secrets of the rich and powerful seemed very mysterious, but in fact, to get to the bottom of it, it was nothing more than desire. As for third brother's fiancée, Shang Xiao read through the information about the Hu family and then destroyed it. The announcement of the Liu family's inheritance was tomorrow. That night, Mama Liu could not sleep well as she lay in bed. In the end, she went to Liu Qianqian's room. Daughter, are you asleep? Liu Qianqian was sitting on her bed with her phone. When she saw her mother at the door, she patted the spot beside her. Come here. Are you talking to Muin? Yes. He wants me to tell him about the results of the inheritance tomorrow. Liu Qianqian replied. Mama Liu sat on her daughter's little bed and leaned against her. Tell me the truth. Do you like Muin? Mom. Liu Qianqian felt awkward at once. Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? Mom used to object to your puppy love, especially when you like Duan Shaolin. Although we are family friends with the Duan family, I'm really worried about his character. But since you've fallen for him wholeheartedly, I had no choice but to watch you get hurt. From then on, I swore to myself that I would never allow a man to hurt you again, especially when you're only 20 years old. But Muin, that child, I really have nothing to say. He's not much older than you, but when your father passed away, he was able to shoulder everything. He thought of everything for us. If it wasn't for him, I don't know how bad the funeral would have been. From this, it can be seen that this child is a reliable man. Indeed, the people from the Lin family came to me and asked me to sever the relationship between the two of you. But I know my daughter, Muin, is a good child. I don't want you to say goodbye to each other without even trying. Besides, I don't think that returning to the Lin family is the best choice for Muin. He won't be happy. So, if you really like each other, I can help you. Hearing her mother's words, Liu Qianqian hugged her mother warmly. I will also try my best to protect Mommy and Lin Muin. So, can you tell me that you really like him? Liu Qianqian could not answer. Recalling every bit of time she spent with Lin Mu and over the last few days, she felt that many things had gone beyond the boundaries of friendship. Even so, she was still careful, afraid that Lin Mu and would despise her. Actually, I'm telling you, I'm very strong. She put Lin Mu and suggestion into practice, and fought for the support of the board of directors. If Qian could not shoulder the heavy responsibility now, she would assume the position of chairman, because that was the only way she could better protect her daughter. Actually, I really like Lin Muin, Lu Qian said, leaning into her mother's arms. But Mommy, I'm really scared. I know that it would be very difficult for me to be with Lin Mu, and I'm afraid that I would bring disaster to him. Mama Lu reached out to stroke her daughter's hair at that. You have to be brave. Look at Muin. Isn't he holding on despite everything? As long as there is life, as long as you think it's worth it, what's the harm in fighting for it with all your might? Mommy, can we really be happy? Let's try. As a matter of fact, Lin Muin had a hard time in the academy that night. He tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. Suddenly, he received a message from Lu Qian. Are you asleep? Can't sleep. My mind is a little messed up. Lu Qian thought about it as she stared at the screen, and her mother's advice suddenly popped into her mind. What are you thinking about? Lin Muin rested his head on one hand and thought for a moment before answering, thinking about you. Then, he felt very uneasy. His heart was thumping wildly. Unexpectedly, Lu Qian replied after a while. Me too. When he saw those 3 words, Lin Muin's mind went blank. He suddenly sat up in bed, as if he couldn't believe what he had just heard. So he sent another message. What I just said was, I miss you. What I replied was that I miss you too. Little Pepper, you go to sleep, Muin. There are some things I don't want to say so casually. Are you free tomorrow? Let's meet. Come to the police academy at noon tomorrow. The inheritance is in the afternoon, right? Yes. In fact, Lin Mu wanted to tell Lu Qian personally, and not so casually. The 2 young people cherished each other so much, and yet were so careful. In the past, they had been able to hide their feelings for each other and remain friends. But after Father Lu's death, their relationship was greatly impacted, especially Lu Qian. She could not keep up the pretense that she did not like Lin Mu, and when she thought that the man she loved might suddenly disappear. And what about Lin Muin? He didn't even want to be a young master. He didn't even want his family. He wanted to be a police officer and attend the police academy. What was he doing it for? Wasn't it to protect Lu Qian? Over the last few days, when he saw how fragile Lu Qian was, he wished that he was the one going through it all. Even if he did not say it now, he might not be able to hide it for long. Tomorrow? Lin Muin closed his eyes, holding his phone. There was no telling if the little pepper would back down at the last minute. In fact, he had already made up his mind that as long as Lu Qian did not give up, he would risk his life to protect their relationship. He was confident that he could stay by Lu Qian's side through every obstacle in this world. Old Lin would never know or understand that he was trying so hard to stop them, but he was actually trying to bring the hearts of the 2 young people closer. Chapter 462. Late at night, Sheng Xiao was still in his study. Mu Qiqi came out of the shower and did not see anyone, so she wrapped herself in a bathrobe and went to the study. Seeing that Sheng Xiao was still on the phone, she quietly hugged him from behind and rubbed herself against his back with her sweet scent. Sheng Xiao caught her moving little hand with one hand while holding the phone steady. That's the arrangement for tomorrow. You can adapt to whatever the Lu family wants to do. Mu Qiqi heard that it was about the Lu family and waited for him to hang up before she said, You're not sleeping so late just to help me settle the matter with the Lu family? From a businessman's point of view, tomorrow is also an investment. I'm helping the Lu family now in the hope that they can pay me accordingly. Sheng Xiao said, pulling her to him and hugging her. You're really a cunning businessman. But is the Lu family's matter not a problem? Problem? Sheng Xiao chuckled. Even if there are 10 more Lu families, I can still crush them, let alone a few troublemaking shareholders. Knowing her man's ability, Mu Qiqi tugged at his sleeves in relief. If that's the case, let's rest. Lifting the little one's chin, Sheng Xiao smiled faintly. You want it? No, it's my period. Remembering the date, it was indeed in the next few days. Sheng Xiao let Mu Qiqi go and waited until they were lying on the bed. Only then did he reach out his warm hand to massage Mu Qiqi's lower abdomen. Thanks to Fifth Aunt's help, Chi rarely had problems with her period. She almost never had any menstrual cramps or migraines. Of course, that was because the man beside her was so considerate and meticulous even in her life. Xiao Xiao, you're a CEO. Don't you think it's beneath your dignity to do something like that for a girl? Who are you to me? Sheng Xiao asked in return. Woman, you ungrateful thing. What if I did that to someone else? Could he just throw her on the moon? It was only because it was this little one that he was so willing to dote on and pamper her. But even though I know you're powerful, I still want to do something for you. After Xing Xiao heard that, he stopped massaging her with his right hand and hugged her tightly. You being alive like this is the greatest contribution you can make to me. I can still contribute to you in other ways. Puzzled, Sheng Xiao was about to ask, but the little thing had already moved, its body squirming agilely. Sheng Xiao felt his entire body tense. Where did this thing learn that from? But it had to be said that it was very useful for men. After a night of trepidation, Lin Mu and Lin Mu and finally made it through this extremely long night. Lu Qianqian got up early in the morning and dressed herself up, which made Mama Lu smile in relief. Are you going to see Muin? Mommy, I'll come back after lunch with Lin Muin. I won't miss the big event in the afternoon. Don't worry, go and explain things to Muin. Lu Qianqian nodded. In fact, she was very worried that something like that would happen in novels or television dramas. She just wanted to tell Lin Mu and how she felt now. Lu Qianqian nodded. Little brain, don't think too much. Lu Qianqian nodded and hugged her mother. Mommy, I'll work hard to protect the Lu family with you and look after Daddy's business. Say hi to Muin for Mommy. On the other hand, Lin Mu wasn't any better. After the morning class, he started thinking and guessing if little Chili Pepper would come and meet him at noon. His roommates and the transfer student noticed his lack of concentration. Once lunchtime came, Lin Mu went to the dormitory to change his clothes. The dark blue turtleneck sweater really looked good on him. His roommates could not help laughing at him. Are you going to see little sister-in-law? Lin Mu actually nodded shyly, which was rare. Oh, I'm so jealous. Smiling, Lin Mu left the dormitory and saw the transfer student at the school gates. He was dressed like that. Perhaps he was going to see that worn shoe again. You don't mind if someone else sleeps with you? Lin Mu's expression was one of anticipation, but when he heard the transfer student's words, he stopped in his tracks and replied, People like you won't understand. I just don't believe that you don't mind. The quality of a person's soul doesn't depend on how many men she has been with. Isn't someone like you who hasn't been with a man ugly too? That's why you would never understand. Love can wash away all impurities and can tolerate all the past. I know she's worth it, but you don't need to understand because you wouldn't. With those words, Lin Mu strode towards the place where he would meet Lu Qianqian. He had thought that he was early. He was also worried that Little Pepper would really show up. But when he saw Lu Qianqian standing by the car door of his house, he was relieved. Little Pepper had actually come for lunch. Lin Mu walked up to Lu Qianqian, who reached out and hugged him. I missed you too. Lin Mu was stunned and suddenly felt the urge to cry. You mean, last night and this morning, I also missed you. Lin Mu reached out and hugged Lu Qianqian back, and they clung to each other tightly. Do you know? On the way here, I thought of countless possibilities. I even thought that I might not be able to see you and that I wouldn't be able to say what I wanted to say to you. Even just now, when I saw you with that transfer student, I immediately thought of many things. However, when I saw you walking towards me without any hesitation, I knew that you would definitely let me see you. Silly. Give us more trust, all right? Lin Mu gently pushed Lu Qianqian away and looked at her tenderly. Do you want me to be your boyfriend? Not a good friend, but the kind who would sleep with you and have children. You really don't despise me. Why would I despise you? Lin Mu nudged her head. Did you kill someone or set a fire? Although I used to think like a young master, I never looked down on you from the bottom of my heart. You must have confidence, my little Pepper. You are just and kind, filial and brave, and you would be the CEO of a large corporation in the future. How could I despise you? Lu Qianqian smiled with reddened eyes. Lin Mu, you're so good that I'm scared. I'm afraid that the heavens would take back their love. As long as I don't die, I will always be by your side. Chapter 463. In my heart, you are already more than a friend, boyfriend, or family. To me, the two most important people in my life right now are you and Mommy. At that, Lu Qianqian held Lin Muin's hand. If I did wrong in the first half of my life, I am willing to atone for it because I want to give all my love to all of you. Lin Muin, I don't just like you, I do love you. Lin Muin's eyes reddened at that. My little pepper has finally matured. I love you too, to the point where I could ignore everything. Then let's work hard together and become the strongest we can be to protect each other. Lin Muin nodded and finally lowered his head to kiss her thin lips that were almost trembling. It did not matter how many difficulties or obstacles there were in the future. What was important was their resolve to be together. Although the confession came a little late, it was not too late. Moreover, Mama Lu had long since thought of Lin Mu, and as the best son-in-law in her heart. It was fine if the Lin family disagreed, but she would try to change the Lu family's prejudice in the eyes of the Lin family. If these two good children couldn't be together, then God would be too unfair. Both of them stood at the gates of the school, having said the most important words of their lives. Then, they hugged each other for a long time, unwilling to let go. Even if there were many rumors in the school, they did not care. It was only when it was almost time that Lin Mu and released Lu Qianqian. The lawyer is almost here. It's about time to go back. All right, hurry up and have dinner. We'll talk again tonight. Lin Mu and lowered his head to kiss Lu Qianqian and was only satisfied then. They were lovers from now on. For his lover, he must shoulder the responsibility of fighting against the Lin family and become stronger. That was why he could not be willful. Moreover, before the Lu family's lawyer arrived, he called Sheng Xiao. Crown Prince, what is it? Please help me build my career. You would definitely receive an unexpected reward when the time comes. Since he had already invested in the Lu family, would he mind investing in one more talent? You really trust me? Sheng Xiao smiled. A fine bird nests on a tree. I believe that Zhongting needs the support of various factions. You have a military background now, but the military and the police are two different systems. It's easy for me to get a police background. I don't need to train a student. But don't you think that a partner who will never betray you is more valuable? Sheng Xiao smiled when he heard that. You've successfully convinced me, but I'm not doing it for your ability. I'm doing it for your courage and ambition. You could tell Su Che what you want. He'll convey your wishes to me in time. Right now, I have something that I need your help with. Your request sure came quickly. Still, as Lin Mu and had said, Sheng Xiao found the whole thing quite interesting. He was curious as to how much effort Lin Mu and would put in to become stronger. Lin Muin's current goal was simple. He wanted the Lin family to be unable to interfere in the matters between him and the Lu family. He could do it with Sheng Xiao's help. Although he might be scheming and shrewd in the future, that was the path that a man had to take in order to protect a woman. And the first thing he had to do now was to get the transfer student out of his sight. His little pepper was very uncomfortable with her presence, and since she had ulterior motives in the first place, Sheng Xiao had even less to worry about. Of course, it was a secret between men, and Sheng Xiao would not tell anyone about it. Not even Xiao Qi. At the very least, he would wait until the melon was ripe. When Lu Qianqian reached home, the Lu family's uncles were already there. Everyone was in the living room, and only the lawyer had not arrived. Mama Lu's expression was very calm, and no one could tell that she was panicking at all. After all, she had to keep these monsters in check, where she could not guarantee that they would not directly eat her and her daughter into their stomachs. Mommy, Mama Lu rose to greet her daughter when she saw that Lu Qianqian had arrived. How did it go with Muin? Don't worry, your son-in-law won't run away. Lu Qianqian replied with a smile. Of course, since he was her son-in-law, it meant that the two of them had opened up their relationship and decided to be together officially. Mama Lu would have to be even stronger for the family. Don't say anything when the lawyer comes. Just play it by ear. Is there any outside help today? Mama Lu winked at her. Of course, She had to inform them beforehand. Or how could she watch the show later? Meanwhile, Lin Mu's afternoon training was about to begin. His roommates were all laughing at him. Bro Lin, why are you and sister-in-law acting like it's your first time together? Hugging for so long in the middle of the afternoon, the whole school knows about it. You don't know. That transfer student's eyes were glued to it. Hugging and kissing, it's sensational. Lin Muan glanced at the transfer student. If Sheng Xiao acted quickly enough, that person would be gone from the police academy before tomorrow. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. That's your sister-in-law. You must respect her. We were respectful before, too. The others laughed. I mean, respect her from the bottom of your heart. If you think she's just, I don't think we need to be friends. Bro Lin, we all think she's fine. What day and age are we living in? Do girls still have to follow the 3 virtues and be drowned in a pig cage? As long as there's nothing wrong with her character, I think her soul is more beautiful than anything else. Lin Mu and could not help smiling at that. If the Lin family could understand his feelings that way, he and his family would not have ended up like this. It was a difficult choice between family and lover since ancient times. If one side must be betrayed, it would depend on whether the other was worth it, and his little chili was the best. Soon, Papa Lu's lawyer arrived at the Lu family's house. He took out some documents and sat down on the sofa as he faced the Lu family. Because Mr. Lu passed away suddenly, he told them, according to the law, the first-in-line heir spouse and children are still alive. That is why Mr. Lu's brothers have no right to inheritance. But the lawyer took out his will. Mr. Lu left a will. Lu Qianqian and Mama Lu's faces fell at that, and Lu Qianqian was about to speak when her mother held her back, reminding her to keep calm. I didn't know that the deceased husband had a will as his wife. Madam Lu, I was the one who drafted the will, so you don't have to doubt it. Still, Mr. Lu didn't have the time to tell his family about it. If that's the case, then make the announcement. I want to see what my deceased husband was thinking. The youngest uncle of the Lu family was fiddling with a ring on his finger. Chapter 464. Considering that Miss Lu and Mrs. Lu do not have the ability to take charge of the company on their own, Mr. Lu's youngest brother, Mr. Lu Mingho, will be appointed as the acting chairman of Lu Holdings until Miss Lu has the ability to take over the family. All movable and immovable property under Mr. Lu's name will be inherited by his spouse and daughter in a 50-50 ratio. However, Miss Lu must be able to join the board of directors with her own ability. Otherwise, the other half of the inheritance will be managed by Mr. Lu Mingho as well. This is the draft of the will. It is a fair will, and everyone can read it. The lawyer passed the information after he finished explaining the contents of the will. Of course, the other brothers of Lu Holdings were not convinced by the result. Since when did Big Brother favor me? Why didn't I know about this? Don't be so sour, second brother. Don't you think that apart from Big Brother, I've contributed more to Lu Holdings over the years than all of you? I don't believe that Big Brother is that stupid. It's one thing to make you the acting chairman, but there's also the other 50% of shares that belongs to Qianqian. Big Brother wants Qianqian to join the board of directors with her own ability. But if you become chairman and Qianqian can never join the board of directors, wouldn't the other half of Big Brother's inheritance become your private property? I agree. I don't believe that Big Brother wrote this will. The other brothers of the Lu family were competing to express their opinions. I can't do anything if you don't believe it. After all, this is Big Brother's will. The youngest uncle of the Lu family was calm and composed as he sat on the sofa. Whether you are willing or not, the lawyer will distribute the inheritance according to this will. I'm sorry, but I can't do anything because you love me so much. Mama Lu finally spoke after listening to the argument of the brothers and asked the lawyer, what would happen if Qianqian gives up the 50% inheritance? In that case, Mr. Lu Mingho will rightfully inherit 50% of the inheritance. Then let me put it this way. Assuming that this will is real, I will receive 50% of the inheritance. Together with my original shares, I hold 21% of the company's shares and little brother holds 27%. In other words, I am still the biggest shareholder in the company. Is that correct? Mama Lu continued to ask the lawyer. That's right. The lawyer nodded. You said that my husband's will is for little brother to temporarily take over as chairman of Lu Holdings. I have no opinion about that. Sister-in-law, how did you— Mama Lu reached out to stop them from talking. After youngest Uncle Lu heard this, he smiled. It seems that eldest sister-in-law is the most sensible one and believes in the authenticity of the will. Moreover, to be honest, both of you have never managed a company before. You might as well stay at home and enjoy life. Isn't that better? Moreover, when Qianqian's successor training is completed, I will naturally let her enter the board of directors and let her inherit Big Brother's will. Are you afraid that I will embezzle the inheritance? Father dotes on me so much. How could he let you, who has wild ambitions, manage the estate? Are you kidding me? Lu Qianqian glanced at the youngest uncle of the Lu family. But the will is written in black and white. The law is fair. Are you not going to execute it? Execute. Mama Lu gave the final word. That's good. However, after meeting my late husband's lawyer, you should also meet me. After saying that, Mama Lu made a phone call and said, "Come in." Then, she looked at everyone solemnly and calmly. None of them knew what she was up to, while the youngest uncle of the Lu family sneered. He did not believe that a woman could overturn the heavens. The will had already been announced. Soon, Mama Lu's lawyer team entered the Lu family's residence. After glancing at everyone present, they listened to the contents of the will again. Seeing that her lawyer was already in place, Mama Lu said, "Since my late husband is so stubborn that he would make the youngest of the Lu family the acting chairman and threaten and restrain my daughter's life, I might as well go all the way. Since I own the most shares of Lu Holdings, I would transfer them to Sheng Xiao, the CEO of Zhongting. Lu Holdings would become a subsidiary of Zhongting. When that happens, with Chief Sheng's ability, would he still need you to be the acting chairman?" Mama Lu sneered. "With this money, my daughter and I would not have to worry about our lives in the future and have nothing to do with Lu Holdings. It's the best of both worlds." The youngest of the Lu family and Papa Lu's secretary were stunned at that. "Madam Lu, what? Did my late husband stipulate that I can only get 50% of the shares with certain conditions? That's not it." "Then cut the nonsense. If youngest uncle of the Lu family wants to be the acting chairman, you should transfer the shares when you handle the distribution of the estate, so that I don't have to do it myself. Zhongting would have professionals handle the rest. You know Zhongting, don't you? I'm not going to investigate the authenticity of the will, and Qianqian doesn't have to fight for a seat on the board of directors. What's the point? Selling the shares would be the end of it. After all, who would be willing to hand over the company's shares and lose their autonomy?" The youngest uncle of the Lu family was stunned at that, because he never thought that Mama Lu would have such a trick up her sleeve. "Sister-in-law, you don't have to be so ruthless even if you want to oppose me, do you? You know very well whether I'm ruthless or you're ruthless. Let's cut the crap and do it." Handing Lu Holdings over to Zhongting and including youngest uncle of the Lu family? To tell you the truth, after Zhongting invests in the company, they would also invest in the company. After all, they have such a strong background, and even if you hold 50% of Qianqian's shares, it would be infinitely diluted. You want to play with me in forging a will? Then we'll play as you wish. Papa Lu's lawyer's face fell at the mention of a forged will. "Don't talk nonsense, Madam Lu. This will is real. Lawyer Fong, the lawyer beside me, was sent by Zhongting. Do you have the guts to let them check the will? When my husband was alive, he was most wary of the youngest brother of the Lu family. He was ambitious and covetous towards Lu Holdings. How could he let him be the acting chairman? Do you take me for a fool? Just tell me, youngest brother, are you going to be the acting chairman or not?" Mama Lu asked the youngest uncle of the Lu family sharply. The youngest uncle of the Lu family clenched his fists. Although he wanted to be the chairman, he would be nothing but a decoration if Zhongting interfered. Who did not know Sheng Zhao's ability? It would be best if he did not provoke such a person. Chapter 465. Maintaining the status quo was the smartest thing to do, especially when Lu Qianqian became the new person in charge of Lu Holdings. As long as she created enough trouble, it was only a matter of time before she was kicked out of the board of directors. This was much better than Zhongting interfering, right? Are you still going to supervise 50% of Qianqian's inheritance? Mama Lu was clearly threatening him, but it must be said that she had caught the youngest uncle's weak spot. In the end, he had underestimated this woman and thought that she was just a vase. Who would have thought that he would be so ruthless when it came to handling matters? I will also give up supervision. Since that's the case, then my daughter and I will each get half of my husband's inheritance. Does anyone have any objections? The Lu brothers all shook their heads. At least this way, Lu Enterprises would still be the Lu family's business and had nothing to do with outsiders. It was a pity that Uncle Lu had planned a good show, but he didn't get anything. Since that's the case, little brother, you should sign the proof of giving up the supervision of the estate on the spot. Uncle Lu had no choice but to do as he was told. However, he had a cold smile on his face the entire time. He even threatened Mama Lu, "I'll make you pay one day." Mama Lu did not think much of it. When she got the proof, she turned to the brothers and said, "Don't be in a hurry to leave. I still have something to say. We are a widow and a daughter with no one to rely on, and our families are all wolves and leopards, which is why I've decided to transfer half of my shares to Zhongting. However, Zhongting has promised me that they will only hold the shares and not participate in the management. Still, if you pull Qianqian down from her position as the person in charge, that might not be the case." When the brothers heard this, their eyes widened. "Sister-in-law, isn't this equivalent to selling the company? Falling into the hands of Zhongting is better than falling into your hands, right? Do the brothers have a solution?" There was no other way. Mama Lu was protecting Lu Qianqian's position in Lu Holdings and also for the safety of mother and daughter. Even if the brothers hated her to the core, she would still do it. The premise of protecting Lu Enterprises was to protect Qianqian first. This was what Papa Lu cared about the most when he was alive. I would like to see how Lu Qianqian is going to destroy Lu Holdings. That's not something you can control. Brothers, do your best. They had come to the Lu family's house in high spirits, only to return disappointed in the end, especially the youngest uncle of the Lu family, who had gone to great lengths to bribe a lawyer to forge the will, only to be betrayed by Mother Lu in the end. He really didn't expect this woman to be so scheming. She even knew to ask Zhongting for help. Lu Qianqian hugged her mother when she saw her uncles leaving with rednecks. "Mommy, it's the first time I've seen you so brave. As a mother has to be strong. It's all for you. Mommy still has a lot to learn in the future. But Crown Prince isn't helping us for free, right?" Lu Qianqian guessed. Even if she and Mu Qiqi were best friends, the Crown Prince had nothing to do with her. What he did now was already a great help. How could he do it for free? The Crown Prince's brain was sharper than anything else. Of course, the shares were transferred to Zhongting at a price lower than the market price. However, Zhongting protected us. This is a win-win deal. Papa Lu's lawyer could not help feeling guilty and fearful at that. Seeing that everyone from the Lu family had left, he dropped to his knees before Mama Lu with a thud. "Madam Lu, I didn't mean to betray you. I was just blinded by greed for a moment. I hope you won't sue me. I still have a wife and child to feed at home. Well, have you ever thought about how Qianqian and I would be treated if you and your brother's plan succeeded? Why should I sympathize with you? I'm kowtowing to you. Please spare me on account of my years of service, Mr. Lu. I beg you. Then get out of my sight. I won't be so nice the next time I see you." Mama Lu spared him entirely out of respect for her deceased husband. That scum would never survive in the circle, and they didn't have to dirty their own feet by stepping on a street rat. "Hurry up and tell Moon about this. Tell him not to worry. But Qianqian, Mommy can help you today, but you can only rely on yourself at the board meeting in 2 days. Mommy, you have to believe me." Lu Qianqian told Mama Lu hopefully. "I will definitely make those uncles look at me differently." Mama Lu nodded. "Then I'll wait for your performance." After all, although the matter of the inheritance was settled, the safety of both mother and daughter was not resolved. Still, Mama Lu could not ask for Zhongting's help, but Sheng Xiao himself sent someone. This gift is from Lin Muan. Mama Lu did a double take. How did Muan do it? After Lu Qianqian returned to her room, she lay on her bed and told Lin Mu and about the soul-stirring events of the afternoon. Although it was dangerous, it was fortunate that the matter was resolved smoothly. Lin Muan read the message after class and called Lu Qianqian back. I have half a day this weekend. Let's have a meal with the Crown Prince and Mu Qiqi as thanks. Are you satisfied with your boyfriend's arrangement? I think so too. Muan, I still find it unreal even now. Whether it was what happened between you and me in the afternoon or the inheritance, I find it unbelievable. Don't let your imagination run wild. Mu Qiqi and the others don't know that we're together. We'll tell her when the time comes. What did Sheng Xiao not know? That silly girl. If Sheng Xiao didn't know, how did she lend him people to protect them? After that, they hung up, and Lin Muan's roommate reminded Lin Muan, I heard that the transfer student is going back to her old school. You won't have anyone pestering you anymore, Brother Lin. There's no telling if she found her conscience or some other reason, but whatever the case, it's good that she's gone. Lin Muan said nothing and merely sighed inwardly. Sheng Xiao's speed was truly unmatched. On the other hand, Sheng Xiao had found more information about Miss Hu, studying her habits and hobbies. She was a girl who liked reading manga, crafts, and arranging flowers, and had the IQ of an 11-year-old. On the surface, there was nothing wrong with her. But what about reality? Hu Ran could fool normal people, but she could not fool Sheng Xiao's eyes. Still, he had to try to know everything, and only then could he prove his suspicions. With that thought, Xiaoqi entered the study with a human anatomy chart and frowned when she found him studying Hu Ran's information. Is there a problem with Miss Hu? That you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.